Yo, what's good? We in this thing. What's happening, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I turn it up. What up, Sovereign? I turn it up. I turn it up. How y'all doing today? Oh, hold on. Let me fix let me get my situation situated. I can't live I can't live my. Yo, what's good? We back. We back. What's good? Uh-oh. The algorithm hating. No, can't you come up? Where we at with it? What y'all got going on today, man? Let's see what this is about. What's good, Billy?
Hello.
Hey, what's happening?
Well, nothing much. So I'm a woman, and it's not a man. Like the men are not responsible for women getting abortions because I know men who wanted the child, and the woman still chose the abortion.
So that means that represents most men or most women who get abortions, or let's call them ABs, by the way.
Okay. So honestly, yes, because despite what a man does, that should not have a part in how the woman make a choice and a decision. If a woman is having a child, the woman should be doing it for herself, not just because she's in a relationship, not just because she want a family with a man. That should be an independent choice. And if you are only having children because the man is there or he's going to play a part, that means that if the man was never there, you wouldn't want them children independently either way.
Yeah, which I would understand that. I would understand a woman who in this world needs, you know what I'm saying, support with her, the vast majority of women who have kids need the support of somebody, but hopefully of the man who helped create the baby. She needs support from him. And if she believes that man isn't going to support her, I wholeheartedly understand her not getting or her getting an AB. That's why men are responsible for ABs. Because
she should never have the children.
Hold on. If women, if men were proven to be more responsible, then women would get less ABs. That's just that's the reality.
Are not doing what they're supposed to do. Why are they sleeping with them to begin with?
Because the men are lying.
Lying. They cannot detect lying. They cannot detect manipulation.
Nobody is a lie detector.
Are they that low? Are they children?
They're children. They're that low. Whatever you want to say. Nobody's a fucking human lie detector.
In that case, who has the problem?
What about women intuition?
It sounds like the men have the problem for being liars.
If you cannot detect what a liar is, what an honest guy is, what makes you think you have the capacity to understand different things in life? Your foundation is warped.
That's a stupid quote. But yeah, if a person is lying to you and you get lied to, you're not the problem. The person that lied to you is the problem. Just so we're all. I just want everybody before we get any further in this, I want everybody to know that unequivocally, the person who lies is to blame, not the person who was lied to. That is the dumbest, most toxic, most bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Is that the person that got lied to is to blame? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
If you are lied to 100 times, you're the problem. If you're slapped 100 times, you're the problem. You're the weak link. You're the dysfunctional, indecisive, childlike, naive, superficial individual. If you cannot decide right from wrong, what makes you think you're capable of deciding anything?
Still dumb. That doesn't correlate. None whatsoever.
If you cannot decide right from wrong, what makes you different from
child? Not what anybody
what makes
is
you
saying.
different from children?
That's not
handle
anybody
life,
saying.
make right decisions. Don't open your legs to random people. Make right decisions. Differentiate up from down, liars from honest people. If you cannot differentiate basic facts about human beings, what makes you think you're capable of handling any type of responsibility?
Sir,
you can differentiate lying people from honest people. Imagine that.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
Hold on. I hate the ramblers. I can't stand the ramblers. Be quiet. So, have you ever been lied to?
I can't stand.
Hold on. Have you ever been lied to?
Don't be shallow.
Have you ever been lied to?
Be convicted.
Have you ever been lied to? Have you ever been lied to?
Not twice.
Have you ever been lied to?
Person.
Of course, you've been lied to more than once.
Not twice from the same person. That's the whole point.
What?
Learn from your mistakes. Wait. Grow the fuck up.
Wait. How many times does it take a man to lie to a woman to sleep with her?
It depends on the superficiality.
Shut the fuck up. See how stupid you are? You couldn't answer that question. You couldn't answer that question honestly.
Simple.
How many times does it take a man to lie to a woman to sleep with her? Does it take 100 lies? Or could it just take one lie? Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. You just said hold on. You about to crash out and get dropped like you always do. Stop. Be the person you claim. Be the person you claim you are. Be the person you claim you are. Nope. Okay. So I asked you a question. If you just said, based on what you just said, I've only been lied to once by a person, right? I don't get lied to twice by the same person. So I asked you, that is what you said. That is literally what you said. That's not what you said?
No.
Tell us what you said again.
That's not what I said.
Okay, tell us what you said again.
I said I can never be lied to 2 times by the same
That's what
person.
I literally just said.
You understand?
Yes, I just said that.
Same person.
So go back on me. So I just said that. So how many times does it take a woman to be lied to for that man to sleep with her?
It depends on the woman.
That's a dumb response.
Depends on
it doesn't matter.
It depends on the woman.
It doesn't matter. How many times does it take for a woman to be lied to sleep with a man? That's it. Just generally speaking.
You think they are equally vulnerable? Okay. You think they are equally naive? Or you think they...
Okay, go ahead, rolling with.
Why are you muting?
Go ahead, rolling with boxing, because we got other people up here. I want to let other people talk.
Male feminist, typical. Yeah. Typical male feminist.
Go ahead, rolling with boxing.
Clout chaser.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey, shallow, empty out your core.
Go ahead, brother.
Bro, tripping. Yeah. How's everybody doing on the panel?
We're great, brother. Go ahead.
Good, dog. Yeah, I have a question. If 20 women came up on your panel right now and disagreed with you, would you change your stance on it?
No, I wouldn't. Blow your nose before you talk to me. And no, I wouldn't.
What they got to do when I'm asking?
You just sound nasally as fuck. But no, I wouldn't.
Okay. I have a disability. I'm sorry if I have a disability.
I feel you. Okay. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change my mind if 100 women came up here and said the same thing.
Okay, so do you still want me to blow our nose?
I do. I want you to keep going. I'm just saying.
This is my disability.
Hold on, brother. So I answered your question directly. No, I wouldn't change my mind. So keep going. What's your next question?
But it's a woman's choice to get an abortion, right?
Yeah, it's her choice.
Okay, so if all women telling you it's not men's
fault. Not all women. Hold on. See, that's what you're fucking up at. It's not all women. It would just be the 100 women that would be in here that would tell me that. Right?
So,
see how I can think through the question?
I hear you.
Yeah.
So you're going to disagree with 100 women?
Easily. I'll disagree with 10,000 women.
Said if only the hookers, it's women's fault. Only the hookers, my friend. The street girls.
Why are you talking over him? Airy Life. Are you okay?
The hookers.
Hold on, brother. Are you okay, Airy Life? Because you're not sounding okay.
Street life.
You won't let anybody else talk. All right. Go ahead, rolling with whatever your name.
So if women came up here and said this, 100 women, and he said it's not men's fault, it's women's fault. Yep. You're going to tell them, no, you're wrong?
Yes.
It's men's fault?
Yeah, I just did it right now. A woman came up here before you came up here, and I disagree with her. So if 100 women did that, I would disagree with 100 women.
And I agree with you till I heard her stance on it, and I changed my mind.
What was her stance? She talked for 2 seconds and she was wrong. She didn't even make sense. So if her stance, hold on. I am fully aware that it is her body. I've never disagreed with that. I am 100% cognizant of the fact that it is her body, right? Though, but the reasons, hold on, the reasons why women are getting ABs, the main reasons, the main reasons why they're getting them, I wholeheartedly believe is linked to men, and it is linked to our behavior and the men in their life specifically. The man who they laid down and had a child with, the man that impregnated her, it is because of that man specifically. Maybe not all men in general, but that man specifically. Huh?
What's some of the other reasons?
Say what?
What's some of the other reasons they're getting ABs?
Financial reasons? Health reasons?
Or maybe they just don't want to have another baby?
What do you mean, just don't want to have another baby?
So at the top of the list is because they don't want to have a baby because it's a man's fault. That's at the top of the list.
What?
You can't hear me?
I don't understand the question. That didn't make sense.
Okay.
Say it again.
So do you feel like every problem a woman has?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope. You're already wrong. As soon as you say every problem, already whatever it's about to be, I disagree. So ask the question differently.
Why?
Because I don't think anything is everything is related to a man or everything that's stupid. So ask the question again.
Every time you have a panel, it's always it's men's fault.
It depends on what. Wait. It depends on what we're talking about.
Every time, everything you talk about is men's fault.
Well, I talk about men's issues, yeah. So that's what I do. But that doesn't mean that I think everything is a man's fault. That's stupid.
When do you ever talk and say it's a woman's fault?
When it applies?
That's never. I never see you talk about.
So what is your point? Jesus Christ. I'm so tired of y'all I'm so tired of y'all playing this game where you feel like you have any type of authority to come up here and tell me what I'm doing with my lives. Like, just fucking stick to the prompt. You can barely stick to the prompt. Now you want to unpack all my. You want to unpack all my. Hold on, sir. Hold on. You want to unpack all of my lives or all my whole platform. You want to unpack that in this one live, or do you want to stick? Or time out. Why are you interrupting me? Do you want to get dropped? I'm not in the mood.
I don't care.
Okay, then drop. If you can't shut up while I'm talking, then you can drop.
You were going to drop me. Men is always the issue on your lives.
Because y'all can't shut the fuck up. That is the issue. The issue is you need a tissue, and you can't be quiet.
Oh shit!
I swear to God, if the issue ain't me, I'm talking. You were literally talking. Look, there you go.
You are the issue. You're a man.
Go ahead.
So why is it men are always the issue on your panels?
Because men are the root cause of all systemic oppression.
So why are you oppressing women?
Why am I oppressing women?
Yes.
Because I was conditioned to.
So when are you going to stop?
I've already stopped.
And how did you make the proper steps to stop?
I blew my nose and I started listening to people who knew more than me.
Okay, so you're not gonna,
That's what I did. I'm telling you, when you blow your nose, you can hear shit. I blew my nose. I cleaned out my ears, and I was able to listen to the people around. I was able to listen to the women in my life. I was able to, you know what I'm saying? Because your ears, your nose, and your eyes and your throat, it's all connected. So I was able to see better. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
That's what happened.
All right.
Thanks.
So I'm just trying to understand, what the fuck is your point? I'm still lost.
I said my point.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Go ahead, Solo.
Now, I wanted to go back to what Ari was saying, where he was like, I'll never be lied to twice or whatever. I'm like, we gotta stop acting like deception is linear. You feel me? Like, that shit happens over time, bro. Like, so if a woman's being fooled by a man, like, it might not just be one particular lie. It might be a succession of lies that would lead her to believe that he's trustworthy enough to have a baby with.
Yeah.
You feel me? And like, so that's what I was gonna say. And I think, like, before I could ask the question, you kind of clarified it.
like, I think your prompt is like in context to like, it's basically like the interpersonal reasons as to why women might have an abortion, and like AB. Not just
say AB.
Oh, I'm sorry, ABs.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think like more so like when you do these prompts, you are speaking to like the interpersonal reasons, and like, you know, not like just in context, not basically saying
sometimes
like, you know,
I am.
That's the reason.
Yeah, most of the time I'm talking about the systemic reasons, but I help men understand it from an interpersonal aspect, right? So all of this would be linked to some greater systemic problem, right? If men in general are the cause of ABs, it wouldn't be because like all these men are individually making bad decisions. You see what I'm saying? Like you get you like individually we do have to uphold the system, but it wouldn't be like we all just we all have our own minds. We think the way that we're going to think, and we're all choosing to do the same thing. We're all choosing to fuck it up in the same way. Like that doesn't make any sense, right? So obviously there's something going on, like on a mass scale that is affecting everybody or is affecting most of us, right? So it is leading men to create these conditions and circumstances in which women feel compelled to get ABs. Now interpersonally, which to your point, I am talking about that for the most part. I'm talking about men, the man that impregnates the woman is not a viable candidate to have a child with, right? And somewhere along the way, the woman figures that out and she's like, you know what? I'm not going to have this child. And she gets an AB, right? Fine. Or maybe he never was and she knew it, but she didn't think she was going to get, you know, pregnant. She got pregnant and then she chose to have an AB, whatever the case may be, right? But if you scale back, even if you want to talk systemically, if you say that it's not directly linked to that man, it would be, if we talk about economics, inequality would be linked to men, right?
Absolutely.
Lack of resources would be linked to men. So at the end of the day, it would be men, no matter how you slice it.
Absolutely, I agree, bro.
Unless they're getting ABs for, I'm saying, medical reasons, you know what I mean? For I can see that. But in the vast majority of cases, if that man is a viable candidate, women are not getting an AB, dude. Like they're just not doing it. Oh, Mr. Common Sense, I'll let you out, brother. Where'd you go? Here, I'm gonna make a space for you since you yapping in the comments. I got time today. Let's go to what's the name? Pizza. What's good with it, Pizza?
Yo, what's poppin', Publix?
Chilling.
You can hear me?
Yep.
For sure, I just wanted to speak on the whole part because he was asking, like, is it, you know, you already talked about the interpersonal, but just 3 little things I wanted to add to that. Like, we got to think about, like, poverty is a huge issue. Food insecurity is a huge issue. Women not wanting to bring children into the world that they can't take care of. Who controls these laws? How women do not get paid maternity leave. How long is paid maternity leave in this country versus other countries? Like in the UK and Norway, they get a year. You know what I'm saying? Childcare is not provided. All of these things women have been advocating for legislation on, but men always push it back. So it's about childcare. It's about food insecurity. It's about a multitude of things, like Public said, that has to do with financials. And I think that is a very important part of the conversation. I mean, of course, the interpersonal to help them get it, but I just wanted to add that about like how we move as a society doesn't create a safe space for women to have children.
Yeah.
We ain't even talk about the education system, all the other things, just the basics, childcare, food, housing. Like these are things that, and then the fact that women on a societal level are said to be the ones who always have to stay home with the children.
Yep.
So if I'm always doing the unpaid labor, why would I want to produce a child that I know I'm going to be solely responsible for and blamed for all the time for everything? Or why would I want them to live in a life like that? You know what I'm saying? If I know I'm not financially secure and I don't have a safety net, I live in a society where there's no safety net for me as a woman. You get what I'm saying? That don't make no sense.
Yep. And if you had
that's all I wanted to say.
And if you had a man, if a woman had a man there, here's the interpersonal part, because I get all the systemic shit that you talked about, right? But then interpersonally, if you had a man there that was that you believed or actually was economically viable, you would probably have debate. Like that's just the fucking reality. That's the reality. But instead of men coping with that part of the equation, right? Instead of men controlling the part that we can control, we want to control women's bodies and tell women they can't get ABs. And then when they get them, we want to shame them for getting them. Like, oh, see, you unalived 10 million men this year and shit, stupid shit like that. No, nigga, you did. She didn't do it. You left her no other choice. You left the woman no other choice. And you want to say it's her fault. Go ahead, Shan.
I'm going to drop down and create space. Thanks for having me, Publix.
Appreciate you.
Hi to the panel. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I came up to speak on that last part you just talked about viability when the other woman was up here. I came in to the live while she was speaking, and I was agreeing with her about the part where, and y'all know I said this plenty of times before, that when you're making a decision on whether or not you should have a baby, that should be a decision you make as a woman kind of on your own, regardless of your relationship status. But I think it's completely dishonest to pretend like a big part of that decision isn't based on the person you're having the baby with. Like, yes, make that decision on your own, because you're the one that at the end of the day is going to be left holding that bag when whatever goes on with that relationship. But when you're making a decision on whether or not you're going to bring a child into the world, of course you're considering who the father is, his economic viability. If, this relationship doesn't work out, do you think that he would still show up for the child? Do you think that he would still, provide for the child and take care of the child or co-parent? Like, all of those things, of course, are going to be a huge part of the decision, even though at the end of the day, you might make the decision, on your own for yourself based on what you have the capability of doing. So I think it's just completely dishonest to say, well, as a woman, you should make that decision for yourself and pretend like the man has absolutely nothing to do with that choice.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I'm all for women taking control of that, whatever they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with that decision. I'm fine with women taking control of that decision. But like you said, I just think it's wild to sit up here and be like, yeah, nah, they're not thinking of anybody. You know what I mean? Like, they're just thinking of if they want to have a baby. Like, some women are thinking about that.
So what if the woman's a lesbian and having a baby?
What's the relevancy of that?
That's a completely different situation.
So this is a heterosexual conversation.
Well, but wait. First of all, two things. A, the vast majority of women who have babies are cishet women. Secondly, what is the relevancy of that question?
All women
the lesbian woman having a baby.
I'm sorry, if a lesbian woman is having a baby, then that means that was an already predetermined decision.
Wait, I'm just trying to understand, why did he ask that question? I'm missing the reason why. Why did you ask that question? What's the relevancy of that?
Because all women don't like men. All women are not in a relationship with a man. Okay.
So do you think that this question, you think that this statement is saying that all men?
So what about the women that are?
Hold on, Roland.
And they want to have an abortion.
Sir, listen. Are you assuming that this has an invisible all in front of it? Is that what I'm hearing? You think I forgot to put all here? You think this implies all men are responsible? I'm sorry, that men are always responsible.
You still didn't answer my question.
I did answer your question already, but I'm asking you. Why? What is the? Hold on. You're not listening to me.
Lesbian women want to have
Roland, listen to what I'm saying. What is the reason why that question is stupid? Is because it doesn't pertain to a significant portion of women. Honestly, there's cishet women are responsible for 98%. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the fuck we talking about. Like, what are you talking about? Who cares about what lesbian women do? So it wouldn't. Okay. So yeah, for whatever reason, who's responsible? It don't fucking matter.
Who cares?
I take that. Who cares? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So what was the relevancy of that question? Unless you thought that I was saying that only men are responsible for women getting ABs, then I would understand you asking that question. Is that what you think I'm saying?
Men are responsible for women getting abortion.
So you read that as only men are responsible for women getting ABs? Is that how you read it?
No.
Okay, then why the fuck did you ask that question?
Because it's some women out here, there are lesbians.
Okay, which hold on, wait. Does this statement negate those women's experiences?
So we can't talk about lesbian women?
Oh my God. Answer my question. Does this statement negate?
I answered it already.
You didn't. Does this statement negate that? Does it negate those women?
But you're leaving some women.
You still haven't answered it. You still haven't answered
it. About women
Hold on.
As a whole,
you still haven't answered it. No,
okay,
I'm talking about I'm not talking about women as a whole. I'm talking about women in general.
Okay.
As a whole is every woman. In general is most.
Some women in general are lesbians and don't deal with
Yes. That. What percentage of women identify as lesbian?
You tell me, look it up.
I have looked it up. That's why I'm waiting for you to tell me. Since you're so concerned with lesbians, I would love to know what percentage of women identify as such.
All women's rights.
No, you're not.
Tell me.
Tell you what? Why would I need to tell the guy that's so concerned about women's rights? Shouldn't you know?
Tell me. Because I don't know the percentage how many women are lesbians.
Okay.
So you tell me.
Are you waiting on me? I'm not gonna tell you shit. I didn't know if you was waiting on me to tell you. Yeah.
Well, some women are incapable of getting pregnant. Should we talk about them too in context of this conversation?
No, because they can't get pregnant.
So you see how bringing up an irrelevant group of women,
lesbian women can get pregnant.
But usually they're getting
and lesbian women want kids.
Wait. Why are you?
I'm not done.
Why are you cutting her off? I'm not understanding.
Yeah, usually lesbian women, they make up a very, very, very small proportion of women that get ABs because they're getting pregnant on purpose. They're planning these babies. It's not they know who they're having the baby with. They know who their partner is. They know for a fact they want to have a baby. They're going to go through with the pregnancy when they get pregnant. The only reason they wouldn't is if there was some sort of birth or medical defect that caused them to not be able to. But most women are not going to plan a pregnancy with a woman, get pregnant, and then go get an abortion.
Or if their partner is not a good partner, and that's why they might want to get a AB.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yes.
Yeah, that could happen.
Just like right.
So my point is, this doesn't negate that. So why are you asking about it? It's not like that's what I'm trying to understand. That's stupid. That's why I've been trying to tell you. It's not. I'm not saying you're not refuting anything that I'm saying by bringing that up. Everybody would just say like, yeah, okay, cool. Their partner for whatever reason has shown them that they're not, viable, and they don't want to have a baby anymore with them. Yep, it could happen with women too, but it mostly happens between a cishet man and a cishet woman.
So, and what about trans men?
Oh my God, you just asking stupid ass questions at this point.
Why not?
This shit is stupid. Go ahead, AJ. This shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, BBG.
For one, him even asking that is like super. It's leading in the worst way. Especially when you start talking about whether or not women can or can't get pregnant, because usually that doesn't that's a very archaic statement, because it's not, even when we talk about women who quote unquote can't get pregnant, it's not that they don't have the ability to be able to for a fetus to grow in them, you know what I mean? But it's their ability to be able to have a viable pregnancy. Like if you've ever talked to a woman who's had to have a cerclage, because she'll get pregnant, she'll be pregnant for a while, but after a while her water will break or the baby cannot stay inside of her uterus. Like those are reasons. And it's funny because there are so many medical reasons that's the reason why they don't have exceptions to women being able to have ABs, because the list of complications that can go wrong with the woman is like insurmountable. So they can't even make real legislation around exceptions, because too many women would fit the bill, and they would have to just
let everybody
they literally would just have to allow for everybody to be able to have access to one. But a lot of it has to do with men wanting to punish women and men genuinely wanting to see women unalive. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, because men will correlate, women getting ABs to women just not wanting to have babies, or they're promiscuous, or all of these other things. But they don't ever correlate the fact that 1 in 4 women will have an AB in their lifetime, but also 1 in 4 women will experience assault in their lifetime. Those two numbers are like
1 in 1.
Identical.
Yep.
They are right there neck and neck together. No man, I've not heard a man correlate those two things together. And because of that, a lot of men live in this constant state of denial of, for one, what it looks like for a woman to be in a situation where she's experiencing DV, where she's experiencing some form of financial abuse, where she is impoverished. Like you said earlier, if the man ain't got no money and she ain't got no money, the likelihood of her getting poorer after she has a baby skyrockets if she doesn't have access to being able to have an AB. So all of these things are important to note when you talk about women being able to have access to this, because it furthers the imbalance of women being able to educate themselves, women being able to take care of themselves, and whether or not they can go on to have healthy pregnancies later on in life if they so choose to.
Let me read this because this is perfect. Teresa said, lesbians are overrepresented in ABs because of SA. Speaking of that, go ahead, AJ. AJ, you there, brother? There
yeah, sorry, I was in another room.
You good?
Real quick. What percentage would you say men are responsible for?
90%. 93.7%.
And if you could just break down how you came to that number and what you're reasoning for.
I just made it up right now because I just think it's astronomically high. I think it's the vast majority of men who are responsible for it.
But why?
Because the reasons that we just explained, through SA, through neglect, through not being economically viable, creating systems of oppression, so on and so forth.
Okay. Because Shan earlier, rattled off a couple of things, a couple of reasons as to why, a person would have the AB, or why they would look to that partner as not viable. She was talking about viability. And I was just wondering, so when you get to that point of, okay, is he viable enough to be my child's father? Why is it just then do the questions start? Those questions should have been asked before y'all had unprotected smacks, in my opinion.
It's not just then when the questions start. The question could have started. It doesn't really matter when the question starts because you weren't pregnant then. The question starts that now that I'm pregnant and I'm going to have a baby, it's not just about viability, because if you listen a little bit further, I said you even have to try to predict for the future viability. Is this person, right now, we could be perfectly happy and fine. We have a beautiful relationship. I see no red flags. How much can I predict that it'll stay that way? How much can I predict that once this baby comes, that won't change? And if it does change and we break up, will he still show up? All of these things have to go through your mind when planning to have a baby or not.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not to say that, this person is a horrible person and he is, selling candy on the side of the road and, I'm pregnant. Nope, I'm not going to have this baby. It's not viable. No. Sometimes right. I'm in a committed relationship and this man is my husband. There's many different scenarios. But right. All of those things have to go in your mind. So no, it's not a case of the questions just starting, but the questions get a lot more serious once you become pregnant. For sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. But even then though, that's still, it's a lot that goes. It's too many questions for you to still not necessarily make irresponsible decisions, because, like you said, if that's your husband, you guys are gonna have smacks, but just more consideration into, all right, if we do this unprotected and the chances of me becoming pregnant, all of these questions that I've been asking about are now about to become 10 times more important. So
I think the thing that I'm not understanding, AJ, is it doesn't matter when the importance of the questions arise or whatever you're saying. The only thing that matters is, are they linked to the behavior or circumstances of the man that you're having a baby with? Or are the issues, if they're not linked directly to that man, are they linked to a group of men or systemic oppression or whatever the case may be. That's the only thing that matters. I don't know why like that this train of thought that you're on is irrelevant. It doesn't make any sense. Who cares? In this context, it doesn't make any sense. There's a time to ask that. You know what I'm saying? Like, fine, but
like you would be, but wouldn't it though?
No,
because it would be a step before. Oh, hey, I'm pregnant. Let's start jotting down these questions. Hey, are you even like a good man? Because at that point, it's like, well, if you get to the point where you're pregnant,
hold on, wait, AJ. When do women become? When do women suffer the most violence in their relationship?
I don't know. As far as what, like beginning, middle,
whenever.
Like
when do women start to suffer the most violence in their relationship?
I would probably say deep into the relationship, maybe nope. After a year. Is it early?
When they're pregnant.
Oh, when they're pregnant. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever questions you're talking about, right? Let's say she thought he was the man and he was sweet and he was not, and then she becomes pregnant and that man becomes violent, which happens often, right. more than you know. If that happens, then what was all of that like shoulda, woulda, coulda shit that you talking about right now? That's what I'm not understanding. Like, y'all really be acting like like people got crystal balls and they just supposed to have
it's not about having crystal. I mean, how long were y'all together before y'all got pregnant? How much time did you spend with this individual?
None of this matters. This is all in hindsight. She's already pregnant.
Yeah,
we're talking about people that are already.
But that's what I'm saying. Before she got pregnant, there was this individual.
That doesn't matter anymore, though. That's what Public's point is.
You're saying
time for that conversation, but it's not after she's already pregnant.
And all I'm saying is that conversation probably should have happened before you guys had.
It's already happened. You're missing. No, AJ, that's not what you're missing the point. It's happened. They've had the conversation. He's a nice guy. He's been showing up Thanksgiving, Christmas, kissing babies. He love his nieces and his nephews. This is all she has seen from this man. And then hold on, AJ, hold on. And then now she's pregnant, and now he becomes violent. Now what?
That's what I'm saying. That's where the mistake is, because
for who? Hold on. Who made the mistake?
If you just take the time out and say, oh, well, he's nice. He came to Thanksgiving. He loves his nieces. Let's have unprotected smacks and have a baby. You don't think that that's not enough vetting going? Like, that's not enough. That's not enough for me to
Bro, what are you talking about?
Let me lay down with this man. You just named 5 to 6
That's crazy.
And you just named 5.
That was crazy.
Can I ask a question?
Real quick,
okay, so I think
let me just get this quick thought out.
I think I see where you're going with this though, and I want to because I think I'm riding with you. Why is it? Because this is like a sort of a moral compass test. These aren't like uncommon conversations. Why is it men aren't having conversations with women who would consider having an AB if they get pregnant? Like, that's something that, you know, maybe as a man, as a leader, as somebody who potentially wants to marry somebody, like, why aren't you having a conversation with that lady to find out, like, hey, if you get pregnant and, you know, maybe you don't like me, or maybe you feel like I'm not the one, what would you do in that scenario? Like, would you give it up for adoption? Would you have an AB? Would you keep the baby? Will we work it out? Like, how do you feel about those things? Because it seems as if, because men's intuition, I'm guessing, is much stronger than women's. Their ability to vet is much stronger than women. They use logic and not emotions like women. Why is it with their logic, that their lack of emotion, logic, reasoning, and ability to be able to properly vet, why can't they figure out that these women are the kind of women that if they get them pregnant and she gets pissed off at him, she'll probably go get an AB? Shouldn't that be a conversation they have early on?
I think that 100% should be a conversation that should be had early on. I think now, I just think there's a stigma behind it where it's an uncomfortable conversation, and even though people are adults, they don't make the adult decisions to have those uncomfortable conversations.
So they just go. For the men.
No, it's an excuse for the men and the women. Neither one of them want to have that conversation. What's uncomfortable
about asking somebody if they're pro-choice or not?
I mean, it starts. a bunch of discourse and arguments between
somebody
regular
that you're
people.
with specifically.
Well, imagine
you're in a
if
relationship with, or you're sleeping with. You can't ask them if they're pro-choice or not.
You can, but if you ask a stranger, are they pro-choice?
We're not talking
there's
about
a chance that I know. But if you were to ask a stranger if you are pro-choice, it could potentially turn into an argument. Now, imagine you ask somebody who you deeply care about if they're pro-choice, and they give you the wrong answer.
Then you know that's not the person for you, and then you're done.
But you've already attached yourself emotionally to this person.
So what?
I mean, you're saying
why don't you give yourself?
It's
why
not
don't you
that
give
easy.
women these same excuses? That's what I'm saying.
I did not just say that it's for men. I just said it's for men and women.
No,
I just said that before you.
How can
all these excuses? You just said before all these excuses for men. I said these are for men and women. It's an uncomfortable conversation.
Wait, but
yes, he did. He did say that.
I did just say that. I said
if y'all let me finish, y'all would hear what I'm saying. But y'all need to calm down.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not gonna yell over y'all.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you just said it's for men and women. I heard that part. But you didn't before when you kept saying, why don't women ask these questions? Why don't they you were holding women's feet to the fire. But the minute DPG asked you a question about men and why they don't vet women who are willing to have an AB, you said, well, it could be an uncomfortable conversation. And, that could be really hard for them. He's already emotionally attached to her. I mean, he can't come out and so, yeah, you said after I called you out on it, I'm still speaking, AJ.
Go ahead.
After I called you out on it and asked you why are you making all these excuses for men, then you said, oh no, this is for men and women. But actively in the conversation, you were holding women's feet to the fire about why they aren't good enough at vetting. And then the minute you got asked the opposite question about men, you had every excuse under the sun for why they can't ask a simple question.
The reason why I was specifically speaking to women is because the reasoning that you originally gave was women asking these questions about their partner. Women asking questions about their male partner. That's why I was only speaking to women. Once it shifted to an uncomfortable conversation that two adult individuals, man and woman, will have, that's when it was for both men and women. Are we clear on that?
But the context was that the conversations was uncomfortable between strangers. You said earlier that if people are vetting, which I mentioned that if men are vetting properly because they use their logic, then you won't have to worry about whether or not you're having an uncomfortable conversation with a stranger because you're having a conversation with somebody you're in a relationship with. So if you're in a relationship with that person, it shouldn't be uncomfortable for you to be able to talk to them about whether or not they're pro-choice or pro-life. Unless you're just sleeping with strangers, whoring about, and getting women pregnant who like ABs. And that's not very coy.
It's not. Before we got to the conversation about it being an uncomfortable conversation between a man and a woman, the question that I asked about the vetting process was there was a list of things that Shan gave about viability that a woman would ask about her male partner. That's why you felt as though I was holding women's feet to the fire, because we were only talking about the viability that the woman was looking for in the man. Is that clear, or do we need to break that down a little bit more?
Yeah.
Are we clear on that?
Hold on, let me read this.
I don't care anymore. You're not going to take any responsibility.
They said
that's what
they said. AJ expects women to predict the future.
I don't expect women to predict the future. I expect a man and a woman to be very more responsible when it comes to having unprotected sex with somebody who you could potentially have a child with, who you don't even know is up to par to be a parent. Like you're asking, you're scrambling, asking yourself all these questions like, oh, am I in a financial? If you're number one, if you poor and the man that you fucking with is poor, y'all priorities fucked up. Like
why? From you mean from having sex with one another? You think
you can have
sex, hold on, wait.
More responsible. That's why condoms exist.
Yeah. And do you also know what typically comes with being poor?
What?
Being undereducated. So you're expecting the most uneducated. And you know what else comes with being poor? not having access to resources. So you're talking about under and uneducated people who lack resources. You're saying, why don't y'all just know better? Why don't y'all just do, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's not about why don't y'all know better.
That is literally what you're saying. That is your fix. Hold on, AJ. Your fix to the problem is, why don't y'all just do better? Why don't you just be more responsible? Why don't you just be more responsible as an undereducated, uneducated, poor person? Why don't you just be more responsible? Jesus Christ, we could have avoided the whole smack epidemic if people just were being more responsible. Shit, right?
So that's basic
bullshit. That's pull yourself up by your bootstraps bullshit. Yep. Logic. If you follow your logic, it will inevitably lead to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, get the fuck out of here. That shit is stupid.
So saying that you should be more responsible.
Yeah, man. However you're gonna try to gaslight me, yeah, it's not gonna work.
That's not a gaslight.
That is. So trying to make it seem like what you're saying is rational when I literally just poked. Hold on, AJ. I poked the hole in your logic. That's what I'm saying. And now you're gonna try to go back and restate it as if it's more logical now. It's not gonna work. It's the same stupid logic.
Same statement. Be responsible as a human being. Cool. Whether you're educated or not, you know what you should and shouldn't be doing. You know what the difference between right and wrong is.
You know how I know.
Whether you're educated or not.
You know how I know. You know how I know how I'll use yesterday as an example. Yesterday, I had a gentleman up here. You guys know him. His name is Six, and he kept throwing the word HSV2 around. Right? Y'all remember that? Remember? I don't know if you were here. I'm asking anybody else. Okay. So he was up here, and that man said, and I quote, when he was talking about having protected smacks and all of this stuff, and I was like, you do realize that you can still get HSV2 even if you wear protection, because you can get it from skin to skin contact, right? What? I didn't know that. Like, people, uneducated people are uneducated and they just don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's not like they don't have any responsibility to know. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that they don't know, and that is by design that they don't know stuff. It is by design that they don't have access to resources. So for your fix to be, you should just know better, that's not the actual right approach at all. It's very dismissive to the systemic problems that exist. You can say that about any group. Now let's apply your logic. Like I said, once again, now let's apply your logic to broke Black people growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Apply that same fucking logic and see how and tell me how it's not simply pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You tell me that.
The reason why that doesn't work in this situation is because whether you're educated or uneducated, you know the difference between right and wrong.
Okay. So no,
you do.
You think that's logical?
You do.
You think everybody knows the difference between
at what age do you not know the difference between right and wrong?
At every age. Like, you don't know the difference right now. Hold on. You don't know the difference between right and wrong, because I'm telling you right now what you're saying is wrong, and yet you keep reiterating the same stupid point. So it proves in real time. And how old are you? You should be old enough to know that what you're saying don't make sense. You should be educated enough to know that what you're saying doesn't make sense, right? But you don't.
Explain why it doesn't make sense.
I already explained it to you.
Because you just hooping.
I literally just explained. Hold on, AJ. Stop. Please don't try to play with me. I'm not that nigga.
Nobody's playing with you.
You are. You
playing
my nigga.
What you're about to say.
My nigga.
Nobody's playing with you.
Stop. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
To explain shit.
I did it. Or are you projecting?
You talk too much.
Or are you projecting? Because you're the one that's not explaining it.
Okay.
So hold on, wait. I'll go further. No. I already explained it. Now it's time for you to explain the logic behind you should just know better. How do you expect a person to just know better? You tell me. Don't get quiet now.
If you don't have the resources for something, you're not educated on something, then why on God's green would you fucking do it? If you don't
wait. Are you saying why would you hold on? Are you asking why would you have sex?
If you're not educated on it and you don't have the resources for it, why would you do it?
You don't have the resources for sex?
Yes, if you can't go back, if you can't afford condoms, and you don't know anything about STDs, STIs, getting pregnant, having sex, if you don't know nothing about nothing, and you don't have the resources to protect yourself from it or anything during it, then why do it? If I go to a job, I don't know shit about the job, and I damn sure don't have a hard hat. Am I finna go grab a sledgehammer and start hitting bricks? No, that don't make no fucking sense.
I'll give you. I love that analogy. I love your guys' analogies because you guys never do good analogies. This is great, but I love it though. So I'll use your analogy of a person going to a dangerous work site and doing things because they don't know better. How often do you think that happens on dangerous work sites?
I have no clue.
All the fucking time. All the fucking time. It literally, they have like, you ever seen those signs that go up and say like, how many days, no accidents? That's on, bro. That is, what the fuck are you talking about? In your analogy, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That if you, hold on, AJ, sit with it for a second. Think about what you just said. Per your own analogy, it proves my point. That even on dangerous job sites, even when people are trained, even when people know, even when they know better, they still fuck up. So now you're expecting people who don't know any better to not fuck up? That's stupid as fuck, my nigga. You didn't explain, and I just want to be clear. You didn't explain shit. Just so we're clear, you made an analogy that actually made my point. That's funny.
It did not make your point.
Okay, go ahead. I would love to hear it.
It did not make your point at all.
Okay.
Because that shouldn't be happening. It should not happen. You should not go to a workplace with no hard hat and no idea of the job and go do the fucking job. That's stupid.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Hold on.
Nope. Fuck your hold on.
Please.
Nope. I'm not holding on. Can I ask you a question?
What?
What if I went to a job site and I didn't know the danger because I don't know shit about the danger of job sites? Would it make like if I just walked onto, I don't know what the fuck this place is. I go, I don't know the threat. I don't know how to protect myself. I know nothing about it.
Yes.
Why would you expect that person, for an example, let's think about a child. Let's say a child went to a job site. Would you expect them to know I have to wear my hard hat at all times? I have to put on my boots at all, like, would you expect them to know that? No, right? Okay, cool.
But you also wouldn't put them out there to do it either.
But if
you wouldn't expect them to do the job anyway.
Nobody is putting people out there to have sex. That's the point. Nobody is putting people out there to have sex. People have sex because it is a natural function of life.
But they don't have the resources and they don't know anything about it. And you said that's for poor individuals. They don't have the resources and they don't know enough about it. So why do it? Is my point.
Because it is. Hold on.
You shouldn't do
what
it.
What do they need to know to have sex? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
The dangers of it, what comes with it, the possibility of getting pregnant if you don't have the resources to get protection, all of those things comes along with having sex. And if you can't A, afford protection, B, know the dangers of STDs, STIs, and C, are in a financial or position to have that responsibility if you become pregnant, then you don't need to be having sex. That's the only thing that I'm saying. You don't need to be doing it. That's it. Tell me what part of that doesn't make sense.
The whole part of it, because once again, a few things. Let's back it up. Do children not have sex with each other, and sadly older people?
They don't need to be. Is my
Hold
point. Yes,
on. See what I'm saying?
They do.
Just answer the. Okay, they do. Fuck what they need to be or what they don't need to be. They do. That is a function of That is a function of humanity. People are going to have sex. That's what happens. So telling people to abstain from sex has never been the approach ever. That's never worked. I promise you, AJ, it has been tried many a times. The same stupid shit you're saying, they literally have tried it in this country and in many other countries before, right? It never works because it is sex that we are talking about. Like breathing, drinking water, eating food, taking a shit, taking a piss, and having smacks are like in that order, bro. Of the, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
One of those things are not like the other because they're not a fucking life necessity. You don't need
I'm telling you the drive. I'm telling you there are biological things that happen to people that drive them to want to have smacks. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't just people just wake up one day and they go, I just want to have smacks. Like, literally, there are hormones. There's a biological function that happens inside of every person for the most part that drives you to want to have smacks. It is very natural.
Does that mean that you have to do it? It's my point. Does that mean that you have to do that?
Okay, you got it. Go ahead.
I'm asking a
yeah,
honest.
Hold on, AJ. Okay, AJ. It's other people up here.
I need to let other people go. Go ahead, Carfield. Go ahead. Oh, Ali said, "Can you?" No, I don't want to ask him. I got it. I'll ask him after later. Ali, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carfield. We still can't hear you, by the way.
You hear me now, or?
Yeah, we got you.
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, I think it's both parties' responsibilities. I don't think one person is to get the blame, right? Because I see women as adults, right? If you're an adult, you should take responsibility for your actions.
They do. That's your whole statement? Women do take responsibility.
Yeah, because that's what the statement says. Men are responsible for women getting abortion. I'm telling you.
When do men take responsibility? When do men take responsibility?
Why are you derailing? We're talking about the topic about abortion. So
I'm literally talking about the same topic. I'm not derailing shit. You just said that men and women are responsible. Fine. And then I said women take responsibility though. So when do men?
For what? In what context? This context?
Yes. What the fuck?
Why are you going?
Obviously in this context. Like, Jesus, what is wrong with y'all?
Responsibility.
Huh?
They do take responsibility.
When? I didn't ask you, did they? I said, when do they?
When they pay child support or when they're sticking around after a mistake. You know, some men are responsible. If they make a mistake, they have to stick with it and stay with it.
Sticking around.
Right?
Yeah. And some men pay child support. Okay. So not many men. That wouldn't apply to most men that you're talking about. Right? The way you're describing, I'm just saying, the way you're describing it doesn't sound like most men take responsibility in this context. Right? But I'm saying not after the fact. I'm saying for the AB, when do men take responsibility for it?
It's her body, right?
Yeah.
I thought she's an individual. It's her body, her choice. She gets the final say, right?
I think what you guys are missing is this. So there are reasons why people do the things that they do, right? There are reasons why. The women are, before they get an AB, they calculate. they add up all the circumstances and they say, okay, yay or nay at the end of the day, right? We're just boiling it down, right? I'm saying that when they're doing the math, when they're weighing out the pros and the cons, the biggest pro or con is going to be the man that she is having a child with. That's it. That's all I'm saying. The biggest pro or con is going to be the man that she is having the child with. If that man is a viable candidate to have a child with, more than likely she will have the child. If that man isn't a viable candidate, if she chooses not to have a child, it will almost always come down to that being the biggest reason. That's it.
Wait, how do you know this? Are you like in a woman's mind?
Yeah, I'm in a woman's mind.
How do you know that?
Yep, I'm in her mind. I'm in it right now. We live in a woman's mind right now. You didn't know that?
What are you talking about?
You asked me a stupid question. I answered it stupidly.
I didn't ask you.
You did ask me a dumb question. You asked me a stupid question. It's not reasonable. You really think that I think I'm in women's minds right now?
I don't know what you.
Okay. So you know it was a stupid question.
Now let me stop.
Yeah.
No, but on the road, you think they're calculating whether or not?
Think before they go get a fucking AB, a medical procedure like that is as invasive as an AB, do I think they're thinking about it? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, I'll give you that. But still, I think both parties are responsible.
Sir. I didn't say that both parties aren't responsible. I didn't say that women have no responsibility. I didn't say that this is all. I'm telling you, and I've already walked you through the steps, and then you just went back to your original dumb point. So now you're talking in circles. This is a perfect example of a person talking in circles. Do you have a new point to make? Since I've already addressed your first point, do you have another point you want to make, or do you want to just repeat the same stupid thing?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair enough.
No, I'll say it. I do think unplanned pregnancy is men's fault.
Come on now.
Can I add too though that I think that this is where the common sense kind of, this is where you hit the little bullseye and they fall in the dunk tank because and I made a video about this. Men don't know how much ABs cost. They have no idea how much ABs cost because you just said that when a woman sits down to consider whether or not she's gonna have an AB, that she calculates all the risk involved. Y'all think that she's not calculating how much money is involved? Because if she's going, because let's be honest, the scenario that y'all are talking about are not, Plan B pills or, if she's doing that at home, which a lot of women are, a large majority of women are getting that done within a first trimester in those first couple of weeks. If she is going to a clinic, she's spending more than like $600 to $800 off the rip, like at the gate. You think that women just have access to like $600 to $800 to immediately go and get an AB? Like, and especially, I think it's more funny that a lot of men think that women are doing this, especially once a fetus looks like a baby, because they equate those two things together. If she's doing that at that point, the number is much, much higher. Like you're talking about thousands of dollars out of pocket. So now women have access. Oh, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Now women have access to all this money that they would be using for an AB. Aspirin does not cost less than a birth. I've done that 3 times. But yeah, you think that women just have access to all of this money all of a sudden to be able to go get these ABs? Where are they getting them from? And why wouldn't they be considering the money if anything else?
I ain't gonna even lie. We had a home birth. That shit cost $5,000. The home birth costs $5,000. That's cheap.
It is very cheap.
The birth in the hospital, I mean, insurance paid pretty much everything, but that was tens of thousands of dollars. The birth at home was $5,000. We paid that out of pocket. But yeah,
5,000 was my out of pocket expense with insurance.
With insurance,
birth.
So it was tens of thousands on the base. So we paid $5,000 total from beginning to end. That was all the appointments, everything, and it was the best. Yeah, that shit was beautiful. But $5 though. So yeah. It's expensive. A lot of people don't have that money. It ain't, it ain't cheap. Go ahead, Kenzie. Oh, man.
I just said I do think unplanned pregnancy is men's fault.
Mm-hmm. Why do you say that?
Because when essentially the way to prevent pregnancy is just to keep sperm from the egg. And I would say it's a lot easier for men to control their sperm than for women to control their eggs. And it seems that men are just kind of really reckless when it comes to just disregarding their specimen wherever they please.
So that was the question that I was going to ask, just a kind of voluntary poll. If y'all don't feel comfortable asking, y'all don't have to. But who up here on the panel has ever had sex with their partner? I'm not talking about one night, so I'm talking about your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and didn't use a condom, even one time.
Last night.
We have a good time all the time.
Every time.
Y'all was ready to answer.
I don't do that.
I eat my hot dogs raw.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
No bullshit.
Oh my God. Okay.
If I don't got the time, sometimes I just.
So yeah, the point to that was that it's easy for people to like kind of sit on their high horse and act like, oh, you know better. Why would you be having sex unprotected? Every adult, if you are an adult person that says you have never done that even one time, I'm gonna call you a liar.
Easily.
There are some people that every time you make sure that condom gets put, every time, no matter what, even with your husband and wife. Sure. Most people, when they are in committed relationships and they are comfortable and they trust each other, there's going to be a time, at least once, where either that thing get put on late, it get put on at the last minute, or it don't get put on at all. Like that. Like, we're all adults here. And I hate how every time this conversation comes up, because you haven't gotten caught up yet, because you have gotten lucky, because you have never gotten pregnant out of it, or you've never gotten somebody pregnant out of it, as far as you know, you want to sit on the tie horse and act like, well, why are people so irresponsible?
Yep.
Okay. Sure.
And sometimes you miscalculate that last pump. Dump in the gut raw from the giddy up.
Yeah.
Choose the right one to pick the kitties up.
I had my abortion because pull-out game was weak.
Because of what? What you say?
Just to be
I had my abortion because pull-out game was weak.
Hey, it depends on how you looking at it. Either the pull-out game is weak, or you know what I mean, the vagina game is strong. It don't, however you want it. It depends on what angle you look at that motherfucker from. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely attribute it to pull-out game weak because my next partner was my husband, and I never got pregnant until we actually
That's nice.
agreed. Yeah, until we were actually married. So
see,
it's pull-out game not weak.
Can I say something?
Go ahead,
all right, y'all don't drag me too hard because I'm legitimately trying to learn here. You feel me? But like, if I can speak to what I hear a lot of men say, like when they hop in this panel, like amongst the terrible orators and the lapses in logic, right? I think the overarching thing is I think like a lot of us are trying to find a space, especially a person like me, where I'm really trying to learn this shit. But where is the space for shared responsibility, right? Like when, to Shenanigans' point, right? Like, yeah, we both have an unprotected sex. We both know the risk, right? So when a pregnancy does happen or whatever, and my partner decides that, hey, this ain't the right time. I don't believe that you're viable right now. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I think as I was listening to like the other fellas talk and stuff, amongst their lapses in logic, I'm just like, okay, like I also kind of get where they coming from. It's like, okay, we both made this decision, right? And like my woman, aborting a child that we both played a part in creating, like, that affects me, be it on an emotional level. Like, you get what I'm saying? And
why?
It's like,
how does that affect you?
I mean, just the hopes of having a child. Like, you get what I'm saying?
That's your fault. Like, why you getting your hopes up?
Hey,
that sounds like a personal problem. Hey, nobody tell you get your hopes up, brother. Don't get your hopes up.
The thing is that if we're in a relationship together, right? Like I'm looking at it as us, right? So I'm hopeful for us, right? So, and the point that I'm having unprotected sex is because I feel like I'm valuable, right? I feel like, and that's just me. I can't speak for the other men, right? I'm like, all right, if I'm coming off in a woman or whatever, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, hey, I can deal with the consequences that come with this, right?
Yeah.
Like if she gets gets pregnant, right? Like, but like I can't speak to like if I get my woman pregnant today, right? Even though I do well financially and stuff like that, and she says, like, hey, like, nah, not right now, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I would drive her to the clinic and sit with her and whatever she wanted to do. And then I would get her some ice cream and take her out to eat. We eat charcuterie and shit. Like, who gives a fuck? Getting the AB hey, brother, as the man, I'm telling you, I'm saying as the man, getting the AB don't got nothing to do with me. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, once that baby is here, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Once it's inside of her and it's a baby, it ain't a fetus no more. Cool, right? And then I'm, you know what I mean? Like, now I'm sad or something. Yeah, definitely. Before that, I don't give a fuck. Once I just, brother, that shit is like, to me, the way that I look at my sperm, my swimmers, I look at that shit like trash, right? What I'm saying is, if I put my couch on the curb and somebody come, like I got an old beat up couch, you take my couch, right? I discarded the couch. I didn't want it. Right? It left me. I put it outside. If you came, took my couch and fixed it up and reupholstered it and shit like that or whatever, I don't give a fuck after that. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, for real? Damn, now I want it. Of course you want it back next. Like, But once you discard something, you have no claim to it, right? Like, so I don't give a fuck. Once I ski, I have no claim to the ski. It ain't got nothing to do with me no more. Whatever she do, that's the easiest way to look at this shit. So if she want to go get her an AB, get you an AB, baby. That shit ain't got, that shit has, I don't get my hopes up. I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm not going to be like, oh man, like, oh, I really wish she would have kept, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I'm a little confused what the argument is. Like, do you think, like, why would you want to have a baby with someone who doesn't want to have a baby?
Nah, Ken, it's not an argument at all. I'm sorry to speak over you, by the way, but it's not an argument at all, right? Like, I was just trying to, like, you know, articulate where my understanding, like, lapses a little bit as pertains, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like Bob said, if my lady says, like, hey, we're not ready, I think the right choice is for us to have an abortion, I'm going to support her wholeheartedly through that, right? Get her ice cream, make sure she feels comfortable with the decision that she's making and stuff like that. I'm going to support her all the way through it, right? But, like, again, like, you know, I'm not going to ignore, like, the emotional ramifications, right? Because, like, as a man,
from
right?
You?
No, I'm talking about just for the relationship, right? Not just
what
for me.
What emotional ramifications are? That's what I'm so confused. What are you talking about? Where?
I'm talking. Okay, the
for
emotional
her.
ramifications.
For her, I get it. It's emotional because it's physical. I get it. I understand her, but for you, what the fuck? What does that got to do with you?
Yeah, and let me explain, right?
Okay.
Because, like I said, I'm not in particular defense, right?
Okay.
Like, again, I'm open to the correction. You feel me? I'm not like one of them dudes up here defending.
No,
my
I
point,
understand.
Right?
I'm trying to really understand what are you talking about when you say the emotional, like for the man? I'm like, where does that? I don't even understand that. Where are you getting that from?
Okay.
Do you feel rejected as a partner?
Oh,
there we go. There we go. Right.
There you
like,
go.
So if my partner, yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Like, if, you know, me and my lady, we rocking or whatever, we've had conversations, like, you know, of course, in passing, it's like, yeah, like, we're going to have such a beautiful family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, baby, you ready for it? And then she says, like, she gets pregnant, the moment's here, and she's like, nah, bro, I don't think it's the right time. Like, yeah, that can feel like, you know, disheartening. Like, I mean, that's you, bro. You're strong. Bro.
I don't be. I'm just trying to understand why. I'm just trying to understand why, though. Like, how is that affecting me? Like, that don't affect me. That's what I'm trying to help. I want to understand. It's like, seriously, how does that affect me? Where I don't get it.
I think he's centering himself in her decision-making process.
That's maybe that's what it is, because I couldn't see.
Maybe I am, right? And that's something to think about, right? That maybe, like, if she's deciding that it's not the right time for her, right? And maybe I am centering myself in that, and that's okay, right? If y'all say I am, like, oh damn,
I wouldn't say that's okay.
I'm not saying it's.
He's saying it's okay that you say that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay that y'all are correcting me on that, right? Because I get an opportunity to learn, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, yeah, of course, like, me as a man in a relationship, like, yeah, I still have feelings, right? She still has her ability to make decisions. And I still, regardless of my feelings, have to support her decisions. But it doesn't negate the fact that I'm like, damn, damn.
Having a baby is like putting hot sauce on your food. Like, once you put it on your food, you can't take it off. But if, like, so you can always make your food too spicy, right? With the hot sauce. Or you can never put the hot sauce on and just, I'll take the risk of it not tasting as good or whatever, but I don't give a fuck. I'd rather not ruin my meal. A woman not having a baby, like my woman not having a baby, it don't matter to me, because at the end of the day, we can have another kid. You know what I'm saying? We can undo that situation or whatever. But once you have a kid, the baby is here. Like, so I don't give a fuck. I don't want to, like, if she ain't 100% like, I'm all in, I'm good. Like, I don't want to have a baby. Like, that's fine. Like, we can, like, that shit don't make me feel no type of way. I would rather that than the other way around. You see what I'm saying? Because once the baby is here, you just in it. You in it, and you in. You can't do nothing about it.
Can I ask you, though, as a human being, to imagine, because this is somebody that you're in a relationship with.
They got 20 on AJ head, by the way. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Imagine you ask your partner
25
to go through with something that they are doing at the risk of infection, high blood pressure. It could give them diabetes. It could result in them having some kind of preeclampsia. It could result in them having cancer. There are cancers that are onset by pregnancy. Imagine that she is doing something that has very real present danger. She did have a conversation with you beforehand, and she said that, hey, I would like to, have a baby. I would like to be able to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then she gets pregnant. She finds out that she has a whole bunch of other underlying, illnesses that run in her family. What if she's making that decision then? Because I think that a lot of men, because y'all will never, ever, ever be in a space where, for one, your body is legislated, because there is no legislature that controls a man's body. But also, you're not in a position to do something, quote unquote, for your partner that puts your life at risk. It's very, very hard for y'all to understand as human beings what it is a woman is doing when she's pregnant. Like, if she's making the choice to decide not to go through with that pregnancy, taking it personally has got to be one of the weirdest things that you can do as a partner, because of the fact that if you consider that her life is in very real danger, then you literally, it's not hard to set aside, like, you know what, hey man, whatever you want to do, that ain't my business. I ain't gonna take it personally, because that doesn't necessarily mean no forever. That just means that maybe that young woman doesn't want to make that decision right then, because maybe she's not ready to risk her life.
Yep.
Absolutely. And like I said, y'all.
Hold on, Solo. We getting trapped. We getting bogged down. I gotta read these super chats. Also said, what is it about men that don't get it? Men mask and change after you get pregnant because they believe you are trapped and can't leave. That's the point. Teresa said he's shaming ABs as a result of casual smacks. Exactly. That's what I don't get. I'm like, everybody in this motherfucker done had casual smacks. And so when people get to talking that, just don't have smacks if you can't deal with the gun, like, shut the fuck up, please. Nia X said, ask him what he thinks about grape babies. I think that was for you, AJ. Nia X wanted to ask him what he thinks about grape babies. Babies that come from grape. AJ, are you there?
What about them? Like, what
do you think? What do you think about the situation? Do you think it's okay for the woman to do it, or I don't know? I'm guessing that's what she asked.
I'm extremely pro-choice. Do whatever you please.
There you go.
Especially in that situation. That's a very traumatic situation. So definitely do what you please.
Monica said he sounds miserable. Teresa coming with more facts. She always come with these factoids that be like they really be nailing the point home. She said 51% of ABs are due to contraception failure. So the majority of ABs, people actually did try to do it the right way and protect themselves, and the contraception failed. Look at that. Brooke Alicia said, these are the same men that say withholding SMEX is neglect, now saying SMEX is not a necessity. Men also say women should give it up. Hold on, brother. I am not done reading. You can reply after this. Men also say women should give it up on the first date. You respond.
All of those are ignorant statements, and I've never said any of those things in my life, by the way. But continue.
Reese Scholar said, these old men who forget what it was like to be young. He's young. What it was like to be young are the same men that say if his wife doesn't want to sleep with him, it's emotional abuse. Drop him. Damn, that's 30 on his head. Brooke Alicia said, why do men stealth take off rapper during SMEX? Because they're diabolical. And they don't care about themselves. And they don't care about the women. Keisha, appreciate you. Ali said they don't know the cost because they won't go to the doctor. That's why they don't know the cost of ABs. Okay, you could finish your statement, AJ. I know you were trying to say something. Then the KB, go ahead.
Oh no, that was it. I was just saying, I like those ignorant statements that y'all have heard men say of, oh, withholding SMEX is emotional abuse, or oh, I've never said any of those stupid ass comments. So try not to put that on my jacket, please. Like, if y'all ever actually listen to me talk, I feel like y'all would actually like hear the things that I actually say, but just putting that on my jacket just because you've heard 30 other men come up here and say that stupid ass shit is kind of unfair. But
well, what is your philosophy on those things?
My philosophy on what? Like
on dating. In terms of like men paying and.
I don't care. I mean, if you pay for the date, cool. If she wants to pay for the date, cool. I don't care. Like there's, I don't know. It's just stuff, more important stuff. That's just not something that's important to me.
What's important to you?
Being just responsible in all aspects of life. Being financially responsible, being emotionally intelligent, being just a decent human being. That's it. And if you feel like you're not a current decent human being, just trying to be a decent human being more and more every day. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's what's important to me.
Well, how would you determine if someone's a decent human being, like in a dating scenario?
Just consideration, being caring, being willing to be knowledgeable, like being willing to learn that person as they're presenting them to you, presenting themselves to you.
What? Say it again.
Being willing to learn a person how they're presenting themselves to you. So if they're like being able to, if somebody is showing you or teaching you how to treat them, to actually be willing to learn that person, learn their triggers, learn their insecurities, just learn them as a human being.
How do you propose you get there if you don't date?
What do you mean if you don't date? No, you can date.
Your chat is hilarious, Pub.
Yeah, the chats be chatting.
I saw someone tell Solo get a journal.
Hey, I got hold on. I got a journal and a therapist, by the way, right? So if I'm in this space right now, it's because I genuinely like really care like what people have to say, and I want to understand and I want to listen. So I'm not defending any position. I'm asking genuinely, y'all. So like,
Solo, I know, brother. I ain't got no problem with it, but the chat gonna chat, brother. Ain't nothing. AJ, so AJ, I'm curious because you were saying like there's bigger things to worry about than dating, but then you're talking about being in a relationship with the person and learning their triggers. So I'm like,
not necessarily bigger things to worry about than dating, but those minute details about dating, like who's paying for what, I don't necessarily care about. That's not.
Why do you think that is minute?
I think that exhibits like generosity.
I mean, it does, but
that's important to me.
But is it a deal breaker? Like, if you like somebody and let's say they don't have it right now and you have to pay for the first date, is that a deal breaker for you?
Well, my philosophy is whoever asks, whoever asks should be the one that pays, because it's obviously, like you want to spend time with them. And I do think that should be an agendered thing, that regardless if you're a man or a woman, you can ask whoever you're interested out and take them out and show them a nice time. But I do expect at some point that is reciprocated.
Right. No, when I say it's not that important, I mean for me to debate about it or to go back and like however your stance is on it, that's fine. It's not important enough for me to try to sway you one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like if
I'm not asking you to persuade me. I'm just asking what your philosophy is.
I know. I was just saying that's what I was just trying to make clear. When I meant it's not important, I meant like it's not important enough for me to feel.
I don't know why that would
which
be
way about
important.
it.
If you're saying that you need to be financially responsible, obviously someone having the capacity to like pay for dinner or take you out for a nice time would be an indication of that.
Oh, for
so
sure.
That would be a metric, right?
Yeah.
So,
but like I said, if you were to feel, what I'm saying is if you were to feel the opposite way, like if we weren't on the same page and you were to feel the opposite way, it's not important enough for me to tell you, oh well, maybe it's not that important for me to.
Well, I just want to understand what your philosophy on dating is, because
my philosophy on dating is just date somebody who you like and be happy. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, that's not like a real strategy, which is interesting to me, and which is why you were and I was interested in that because you were essentially advocating abstinence. So
it's not about advocating for abstinence.
I was talking about abstinence to you.
What it was if you're not knowledgeable enough about something, or if you don't have the resources to perform something properly, then in my head it would make more sense to just not do it than to do something and know nothing about it, and then when shit hits the fan, it's like, well, fuck, I'm stuck. That's all.
You just argued that if you like a man, but he doesn't have the resources to go on a date, should that be a deal breaker? And now you're saying that poor people shouldn't have sex.
What up? That's how I know y'all don't be listening.
Oh my God!
I'm listening.
What I said was, okay, well, stop.
I'm listening very carefully.
Okay, well, stop and let me explain. If that's a deal breaker for you, cool. If it's not, cool. I'm saying I don't care enough to argue with you about it either way. If it's a deal breaker for you, that's fine. If it's not, that's fine. I don't care. That's not something. There are more important things that I would spend time debating back on, not on who should pay for the first date. That's what I'm saying. I don't care who pays for the first date. You do this all the time. When you get, like, when something is clocked, you try to roll it back and say, "Oh no, I'm saying either way. I don't care. It doesn't matter." But when you because y'all don't listen.
No,
sure, we listen.
You see how you interrupt every time I'm talking, but you always telling somebody else they don't listen.
Continue.
When you first said it, you said it like you act like we don't understand context. Like everybody up here, I would assume, is intelligent enough to listen and understand context of what you're saying. When you first said it, you said, "Oh, if you like a guy and he's going through a hard time," you set it up as if like you like this person, he's going through a hard time. Should it be a deal breaker just because he doesn't have the money to pay for the first date? And now you're saying, "Oh, if it is, and I don't care, it doesn't matter." No, you were leading. Basically, it was a leading question to say that shouldn't be a deal breaker because you like this person, and just because they're going through a hard time and they can't pay for a first date doesn't mean you should count them out. But then you also are sitting here trying to say poor people shouldn't be able to have sex.
What I said was, and if you were paying attention, which you weren't, but if you were paying attention, you would have heard me say, for instance, if you were having a conversation about, hey, who should pay for the first date? If a man asks you out on a date and he doesn't have the resources, is that a deal breaker? And then I continued and said, but that's not something that I care about. That's not something. And then I explained to her after that fact that it's not that I don't care about the statement, or I don't care about who pays for the first date. I don't care to have the conversation about it because it's not that important. I feel like there were more important things to have a conversation about. That's what I was saying.
Okay, then there's more
again, if you would have paid attention to it,
then
you would have paid attention.
You should be able to have sex or not because that's illogical.
And yeah,
to be clear, let's make your urges go away.
To be clear, because I was listening earlier, I was paying attention. You spoke about how if people don't have adequate information or if they don't have adequate resources, that sex should not be a priority for them. Now, I would dare to say that maybe this conversation shouldn't be a priority for you because we know that it's common sense, which I don't really believe in common sense, but hey, let's go with it. Common sense says that people who are in romantic relationships, which a large majority of people are, that they are more likely to have those sexual relationships, and that most Americans don't have comprehensive sex education, especially adults. So when you're talking about whether or not somebody should or should not be able to have a conversation based on the knowledge, have sex based on the knowledge base that they have on a specific topic, it sounds like you don't have a lot of knowledge base on this topic, whether it's ABs or whether or not the frequency of sex that people are having in common relationships. So, I feel like this might be the best time to maybe take your own advice because you did mention that earlier. You mentioned that they shouldn't be engaging in sex if they don't have the information. It does sound like you don't have the information right now, so maybe you shouldn't engage.
I agree with that. Teresa said, he screamed, sex is not a need. We can rewind it on YT. He did say that. Nigel said, damn, this nigga strict. Damn, dude, she be saying anything, man. That shit be funny as fuck. Keisha said, men trap women with babies to move in with her. Married men trap their wives with the baby if she mentions divorce. What up, Anthony? Anthony said, vasectomy should be urged if men don't want kids. Yeah. snippet.
So is sex a necessity? I just want to know. Is sex a necessity? I just want to know.
No.
Can I please?
Okay then. Thank you. I was just wondering. Just wondering what sex a necessity. I stand by the statements that I made. Like,
are clothes a necessity?
Nobody ever said it wasn't.
Clothes a necessity? No. Clothes aren't
We
a
said it's
necessity.
illogical to assume
I
that
mean,
poor people
in
shouldn't
society,
be able to have sex. That's crazy.
I think. First of all, I said that if you don't have the resources to,
We don't need you to repeat it, AJ. We heard you.
Okay, well, y'all keep repeating it like y'all don't fucking understand. So, I mean, if I could do something to help y'all comprehend a little bit better,
could it be that if everybody is saying the same thing about you, that maybe it's not us, it's you?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe it's not that we don't understand, right? Because we understand. I don't think anybody up here doesn't or didn't understand what you were saying. I think maybe you don't, I don't think you understand what, I'll give you the out of, I don't think you understand what you're saying in totality, like the context. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you actually understand where it fits. And that's what we're trying to help you understand. So instead of being combative and being like, y'all just not hearing me, like we are hearing you loud and clear. We're just letting you know that what you're saying, this is what it equates to. And maybe you should just sit with that as opposed to being like, no, that's not what it is. Like maybe that is what it is though. Right? Like I get it because it happens a lot. I think people say stuff that they don't think you don't play it all the way out, right? Like it sounds good in a vacuum, but then when you try to apply it in general, right? Then you hear it actually play out and then it goes, oh, that is dumb. And instead of going like, well, I just miscalculated, I didn't think about it all the way through, the reflex, especially for men, is defense. Oh, no, that's not, no, see, you just heard it wrong. And you try to do all this gaslighting and shit. And it's like, why do all of that? Just, it's okay. Like maybe just what you're saying doesn't make sense.
Because it don't be gaslighting. It genuinely be me telling you that the statement that I made, if you were to listen to it, makes sense.
If I repeated back, let's say I went to YouTube right now, I rewound the YouTube where you started talking. We listened to it again, and we come to the very same fucking conclusion. What would you say then?
The same conclusion of what?
I'm saying, let's say we go, because you're saying that we didn't hear you. I'm 100% sure we did, because I've heard everybody reiterate what you said, like almost verbatim, some very close approximation, right? Cool. So let's say, though, we get exactly what you were saying verbatim. We listen to it all over again, right? And then we still come to the same conclusion. Then would you accept that maybe we do understand what you're saying and you're just wrong?
I would say agree to disagree. because until you were to give me something that's substantial that would be able to change my mind view on it, because what you're basically doing is saying, I would say the statement and then you'll say, that's dumb, and then move on. Damn. But you haven't actually told me how it's dumb. You haven't.
We
did.
How it's wrong. You haven't actually.
It's not pragmatic.
Yeah, and we did.
If we sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, and we did. Like, and we did tell you why it was wrong. It wasn't like we just said it's wrong. We literally said.
Well, your reasoning was everybody fuck. Like everybody has sex. That's not a good.
I gave many reasons.
Trying to stop sex for you.
Wait.
Stop sex for years, and
that doesn't sound like projection. You always claim we don't hear you. That's not what I said at all.
You said, AJ, they've been trying to stop sex for years. They've been trying to tell people to stop having. They tried that long ago, and it didn't work. They tried to tell everybody just to be abstinent a long time ago, and it doesn't work. Abstinence. That's what you said, right?
That's a part of what I said. Yeah.
Okay. They even try that now. So if we look at abstinence only teaching, it's prevalent in the Bible Belt, and they have the highest rates of teen pregnancy and abortion.
Exactly.
This a fact.
Yeah,
repeat that one more time.
If we look at the Bible Belt, when it comes to sex health curriculum, it's abstinence only teaching, and they have the highest rates of teen pregnancy and abortion.
Yeah.
Because that's why I say it's not pragmatic, is because leaving people in the dark, especially teens, on how to practice safe.
Because they're like the most curious people. They're like teens. They're of course, with hormones.
Right.
And
so
everything,
that's why we're saying your philosophy is just not pragmatic, because it's not practical.
Kinsey,
if we're going to reduce, I would say it would be
education.
free, long-acting reversible contraceptives, as well as comprehensive sex health education. And I think we do really need to start educating people on what healthy relationships look like.
Yep.
I don't think a lot of people know.
I have a question for you, Kinsey. What demographic of people have the most unplanned pregnancies?
In terms of volume or rate?
Oh, rate.
If we're
like age group,
unplanned pregnancies would be hard to. Essentially, Black women are, I think it's 5 times more likely to have an abortion.
Okay, let me
but
rephrase.
In terms of volume, it's white women.
No. So let me rephrase the question. What age group do people have the most ABs, if that makes sense? Like
20 to 24 and 25 to 29 are pretty close.
Okay.
So it's essentially your 20s, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, I get that.
When I had my AB, I was under 27.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said I had to also get chlamydia and gonorrhea testing, because statistically people under 27 are just more likely to be having more sex.
Yeah.
And have more partners.
Yeah. So do you think that there is a connection between lack of education, maturity, things of that nature? Do you think that is connected to that age group getting the most ABs?
I think it's a multitude of things. Like obviously, like access, like education is going to be prevalent. Mm-hmm. Poverty is going to be a huge driver.
Yep.
And then I just think your 20s is, if you're under 27, you're more likely to be having a lot of sex. You might not, settle down yet, even though statistically most ABs happen in long-term committed relationships. So I just think it's typical childbearing age, which is why it's most common.
Yeah, that makes sense. When women, that makes a lot of sense. I was thinking that maybe it might be linked. I also think that it is linked to not being financially stable enough, and typically people in their 20s aren't financially stable. That's one thing. And then just the education, all that stuff. You're talking about a lot of things are going on. People are immature. The brain, you know what I mean? You're talking about 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. Like the brain ain't even, it's still mushy, it's still soft, it ain't even fully developed. So yeah, I'm thinking that might play a big role in it too. The lack of maturity and things of that nature. I don't think it's any one thing, by the way. Like I think it's all.
No, it's definitely intersectional for sure.
Yeah.
But so I just think pragmatically, like promoting, and I do, like within my philosophy, like I will tell my son, you have your whole life to have sex. I hope that you center other things when you're a teenager, like your academics and your athletics, so that you just set yourself up better for the future. Mm-hmm. But if you do choose to engage, here's what you need to know. I will tell him that there are more important things.
Yeah. Because
I do want him to be abstinent. But I certainly won't like shame him and leave him in the dark.
Yeah, and scare him. Like do the hey, you get pregnant, you go. Don't do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me read these super chats real quick, and then we're gonna move around. Marine said, "Pregnancy is not a concern for anyone when AJ has SMEX, and we all know it. That's why he talks about it. That's why he talks about it. This topic. That's why he talks about this topic this way. Jesus Christ." Teresa says 67% of pregnancies in Mississippi are unintended. God damn. Keisha said, "Somebody tell AJ people in state funded homes. Somebody tell AJ." People in state funded homes, because they're both deaf and blind with other disabilities, have SMEGs or self-pleasure. Go ahead, Allie. Make sure Allie gets her opportunities.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Chilling.
I think Kinsey covered majority of what I was going to say. I actually just wrote a paper about this because I thought you know, a lot of people like AJ are walking around very much closed-minded, and I just wanted to see like the like just the book work on or the statistics on what had been going on surrounding this topic since I can't talk, y'all, since it's such a like hot topic. And basically kind of like what you all said, like a lot of like our education that surrounds like sex ed is going to include like how somebody was raised as far as like cultural values, like their religious affiliation, or if they were actually taught about SMEX. And I like when people like to jump on panels and pretend like we didn't either come from a family who was very much religious or like from a Christian household where like the idea or like the talks about SMEX were like very much not taboo. We, you know, like we would always have like these open conversations about it. You can go to your mom and dad and ask all the millions of questions about what involves SMEX and like what like the best way to go about it. I hate when people pretend like that was how our environment was in majority of our Black families. I don't know much about everybody else, but specifically
it was like that in everybody's family, Allie. In America, that's an American thing. That's not Black, white. That's everybody. That's just every culture. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go to your Latino parents and be like, tell me everything about the birds and bees, and they pull out the whiteboard like they ain't doing that shit.
It's so weird. And I find it funny because like I'm thinking as I'm listening to the conversation roll out, when was the last time I had a conversation with my mom, like in those younger years about SMEX? And the only time that I can like recall back is the one time we even had the conversation, and it was very vague. You know, the birds and the bees and, you know, your body parts are going, it didn't even really lead down the road of actual SMEX. It was more so about like, prepare yourself for puberty. So it's very funny how people will like talk about, you know, you need to have all of these, all this information surrounding SMEX when we know for a fact, like this is a very taboo topic. So that's number one.
You know why they don't talk about it?
Because they probably don't know themselves.
Because they don't know. So it's hard to talk about some shit you don't know.
But picture how they family, they mom and they daddy is like 1 out of 8. Their grandma and their granddaddy is 1 out of 12. Their great grandma and great daddy was 1 out of 18. Like, let's be for real. Like, they're not having the conversation. So how great really is it for us to keep preaching sexual abstinence when somebody can stop the curse and say, you know, this might not be the best like way of handling this. Maybe we should start talking about it and getting to some common ground because we know that SMEX is actually a natural thing.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, I wanted to kind of circle back to that question that I cashed at you because I really want to know what his answer was going to be, and then I was going to follow up with something that I saw on PlannedParenthood.com.
Okay, ask him.
Hold on, I don't even remember.
Pub, I got a slide, bro. I appreciate you.
All right, solo. Yeah, that was for AJ. That question.
Okay, the question was, at what age should we learn about SMEX?
I'd say probably 12, 13. You should start being introduced to, like, whenever your body starts changing is when you should kind of start being introduced to.
12?
13? He said 12 or 13. So
yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
12? My son is 8. I'm already talking to
and that's what I'm saying. You can always tell when people start talking, they reveal themselves. Because even at a young age of 4 and 5, maybe even younger than that, maybe 3, you should start teaching your child about good touch and bad touch. Because unfortunately, in the society and climate that we live in, we have creeps out here who will touch your children. Trigger warning. They will touch your kids. These are also the same kids that will be going into places outside of your home. So you might think that they're safe, but once you release them to daycares, other places, like, you know, maybe your family member's house, things can happen, unfortunately.
And if they don't know, like you said, you can't really have the high expectation that they're going to know what to do in the circumstance or event that things come up. I think that that's very strange to wait till preteen when they're already about to cross over into the puberty time zone or timeline for you to be like, oh, now we get to talk about it. Like that
I didn't do it. Oh, go ahead, AJ. Go ahead, bro. Respond.
Also, it's not because you're saying good touch or bad touch. At a young age, you should let your kids know not to let an adult touch them in a certain way, or even kids
not
touch them.
Adults, AJ.
Can I finish, please? Or kids touch them in a specific manner. But your question was smacks, and I feel like and again, I'm 26. I don't know anything about kids, but I know when I was growing up, my first interaction with a young lady, I was 11 years old. I don't even think I had hit really puberty. Like I hadn't hit puberty. I don't think my balls.
Your balls were still shriveled up there like this.
Yeah. I was 11. You know what I'm saying? I said 12 or 13 because I don't like in between that age. I would imagine, like for me, that's when puberty for a boy. What happened? Like at that, you're not. In my mind, I wouldn't realize that you're conscious enough. But of course, you know not to touch another girl in her private area. You know not to let anybody touch you.
Why do you say of course?
You would. That's something that you would teach your kid at a young age, especially when they're about to get around other children. Idea of smacks isn't something that I would think that a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old.
And that's where you go wrong. That's where
but again, I'm also 26, and I do not have
welcome to the real world.
Time out. But AJ, do you see do people at 26 not have kids?
No, I'm talking about me.
I don't AJ, have kids. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Hold on.
Have kids.
Listen. You keep saying
26-year-olds have kids.
You're 20, but 26-year-olds have kids, and you don't know how to approach it, the conversation. You keep saying I don't got kids. Like you act like if you had kids, you would know how to approach the conversation. I'm telling you wouldn't, right?
If I had a child that was 4 years old about to go to elementary school or kindergarten, pre-K, anything like that, I would be able to have a conversation lightly and tell them, hey, these little girls and little boys, don't let them touch you.
But you're saying that I'm saying you're saying that now. Yeah. And you keep saying, you keep repeating, I'm 26. I don't know. So why do you get a pass? And I'm giving you the pass. I'm giving you because you are young. I'm saying maybe, hey, you weren't, and I know we were all educated in the same education system. You probably were never taught. That's the thing. To Allie's point, we were never taught. So why do you get a pass? Because you keep saying I'm 26, right? But when we were talking about people who are uneducated and undereducated and living in poverty and don't have access to resources, for them it was they should just know better. Shouldn't you just know? Shouldn't you just naturally know like how to raise a kid? Shouldn't you just naturally know how to have this conversation? Shouldn't you just know it?
You should know the difference at that. Huh?
That's nasty work. Like if you're listening to yourself, that's nasty work.
What's nasty work
to
about
expect uneducated people in poverty to know things that you don't even fundamentally know?
I got some. Hold on, AJ. You shouldn't have kids. I know you don't, but you shouldn't have kids.
I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
No,
because you don't know.
And that's y'all's opinion.
Hold on, no, that's all. See, you fucked up. Hold on. You see, you done fucked up. That is your logic. You shouldn't have kids. By your logic, you shouldn't have kids.
I'm raising my hand. Can I explain why?
Yes, go ahead.
You didn't know when I asked you at what age should we be teaching about SMEC?
Should.
Yeah.
Should you
and you're combating, hold on, and you're combating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people up here who have kids.
I'm not combating. Look, whatever y'all think is whatever y'all, but again, parenting styles are different, people are different.
Here we go with this weird Bro,
I swear to
AJ,
God,
I
it's
swear
like
this
y'all
is the
can't
weirdest.
stand, it's like
this
y'all
shit is
can't
crazy,
stand
bro.
30 seconds
AJ.
without shutting the fuck up. Y'all can't
AJ.
let a nigga finish his statement without.
You don't let him finish. I've been listening to this live.
Are dumb. And that's the reason why. It's
to
because
you,
the
sweetheart. It's dumb to you. It's dumb to you.
I've been listening to this live for 45 minutes.
The idea
It's dumb to Mary. It's dumb to
that a 4 or 5-year-old can understand that somebody shouldn't touch them inappropriately. This is your logic. Because when she asked you that question earlier and you said that the age should be 12 or 13, it should be 13, you said yourself that the encounter that you had was when you were 11. So your parents had already dropped the ball. Well, let me finish. Y'all won't let a nigga finish.
Oh, don't let me finish. Why the hell would I give you the same respect?
Stop talking to her.
I was muted the entire time. The entire time that y'all were yelling.
I apologize.
Hold on, man. Just let her. Come on. Go ahead.
Yeah, let a nigga finish.
Let a nigga finish.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
Even based on your logic, your parents are already beyond the curve. So you know that at 11, you already had access to information that was beyond what you could understand. So you know that the number can't be 13 because you were 11 when it happened to you. But also the idea that a 4 or 5-year-old should go to school by understanding inappropriate, and you should be teaching them inappropriate touch without teaching them about sex. So you're not teaching them about body parts. You're not teaching them about anatomy. You're not teaching them what parts they shouldn't be touching because of the fact that you can't teach them about sex. You can't teach them about what that looks like or how that functions. So now they're going in ill-prepared into situations where they may encounter that information or may be in those types of situations. And that's the reason why your logic keeps falling on its own head. And it is because I said it earlier, and obviously I can stand 10 toes down on it. You don't have the range for this type of conversation. And then you try to further infantilize yourself by saying, oh, I'm just 26. Who cares? By the time I was 26, I had a husband and kids and a house. I was fully grown at 26 and able to make decisions and having conversations with my child about what appropriate and inappropriate touch was, and having conversations with a small child about how SMEX works. Why? Because it was necessary. You keep thinking of it as something that's erratic or something that's supposed to be nasty or something that you vet for, and not something that's a skill that people need to be able to understand. You need to be able to understand how these things work as a human being. I think the saddest part about it is that you can't admit to wrong, and you can't admit to being undereducated. The same people that you said, you started off the conversation with saying that people should be able to vet. You are the person that people should be vetting, because of the fact that you are the undereducated people that you said should not be having specs because they don't have the resources or the knowledge base to be able to have it in a responsible way.
And here we are, full circle. The whole time the call was coming from inside the house. And that's all. That was the only point. Go ahead.
Can I please respond without anybody interrupting me, please?
Yep, hold on. I'll let you do that, but you got to let me read these super chats. Lady Muse said, there's no amount of time invested that'll predict how a man responds to a shift in power dynamics. Women would need to fake life events like pregnancies and cancer to test his if he'll flip the switch. Ozzy said, kids expose other kids to things they see too, like corn. Urida said, don't let that man gaslight us. He is clearly in his late 40s. Nah. Tonight just said, I'm glad AJ doesn't have kids. They would have 3 jobs and on the first divorce by 10. Damn. Teresa said, sex ed spans from anatomy in elementary school to puberty education in middle school and reproductive health in high school. He has not read anything. Okay, go ahead, AJ.
If you have a conversation with your child at 4 and 5 before they go to kindergarten, pre-K, any type of schooling around other kids, and you say, hey, this is your area. You don't touch anybody else's area. You don't let anybody touch your area. Tell me if that's wrong or not. Is that wrong?
It's wrong.
Is that it wrong? Okay. So the conversation you should be having with them is, hey, this is your penis. Don't stick your penis in another girl's vagina. That's the conversation that you all would be having with your kid.
That's the conversation that I had. That's the conversation that I had.
Awesome. So if you're pointing out to your and number one, acting as if just because I say no square on here or this is your special spot, acting as if I can't explain to my son what a penis is, what his penis is ignorant and is disingenuous. But for the sake of this, to continue this, I'll pretend like y'all actually
why wouldn't you
that.
wait? Why are you so uncomfortable with telling somebody that that's their penis?
Because he doesn't have confidence in sex education.
It's not. First of all, A, you're wrong, and B, stop talking. That's not what I was saying. It's not that I have. It's, y'all talk to me like
okay,
that.
Okay, AJ, brother, just finish, bro. Just finish. Come on.
There is no issue that I have with explaining to my son that he has a penis and this is what his penis is for.
But you do though, because you said you're going to tell him it's their secret spot.
For TikTok.
You can't say penis on TikTok?
I don't know what you can say on
TikTok.
Oh,
okay. Oh, yeah, you can say penis on TikTok. Okay. Go ahead. Okay. I just wanted to, because I was like, that's a scientific term.
I can explain to my son what or daughter what their penis and vagina is and how that they shouldn't have the opposite sex or the same sex playing with, touching with, anything. You don't put that. That's a conversation that you can have with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. My point is.
Come on, man.
My point.
Really, I would like you to define that for me.
My point is, I'm not defining what a vagina is.
Why not?
It's a female.
Come on, y'all. Damn.
It's a female what?
It's a female sex organ.
Right. I mean, like that could describe numerous body parts.
Anyway, like I was saying.
No, really, I'm not being bad faith.
I know.
I'm just saying, like, I would like you to define this because I don't think, like, this is kind of my calling card is asking men about female anatomy. Because I don't think you really know what it is.
You don't think that I know what a woman's vagina is?
Yeah.
So, like, the labia, clitoris.
No, that's the vulva.
Vulva, none of that. You don't think I know anything about the anatomy?
Well, the labia and clitoris is not a part of the vagina.
These are the men we have to procreate with, y'all.
Anyway,
wait, AJ, hold on.
There's the shortest definition is 2 words that I would say is effective enough.
Okay. I don't know the scientific definition of it.
Okay.
If you would like to enlighten me, what are the 2 words?
Internal canal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I would just say, hey, don't let anybody touch your internal canal to my daughter, and then I find out that somebody touched everything on the outside, then...
Right, so you would explain, like, the outside is the vulva.
So that's why I would just explain to her that everything that's inside and between your legs, don't let no little boy or little girl touch, or no grown man.
Well, you would still want anatomical. You would still want anatomical body parts. You can say vulva. It's not the vagina, though. Like, obviously, for them to touch the vagina, that would be like insertion.
I be trying to touch my wife's cervix when I be in.
That's really painful, by the way.
Okay, so anyway, like I was saying with the rest of it,
please apologize to your wife for us.
She be asking for it, y'all. She tell me to do it, and I be trying to apply.
She tell me to do it is wild.
But I think that, you know what? I think my favorite part is when people have hypothetical kids and they have these conversations, because nothing is funnier than people without kids talking about how they're going to have this conversation with kids that don't exist. Because when you have conversations with actual kids, you're never going to just stay there. If you start with, no, don't let anybody touch your inner canal, or you start to break these pieces down, you know why that conversation always ends up leading to, you know what, I'm about to be honest with this kid. It's because 4- and 5-year-olds specifically ask a lot of questions.
They asking for sure, without a doubt. They're going to start asking.
Questions. 4- and 5-year-olds are like Barbara freaking Walters.
But why?
They ask.
But what's that?
Well, why would somebody want to do that? Why would they want to put their penis in my vagina?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because some people find pleasure in that. Why would they find pleasure in that? Who want to do that? Well, some adults like to do that maybe when they're in relationships or married, why they want to do that when they like it's a never-ending cycle of constant follow-up questions after you've already started the conversation. This is why it just makes sense to have comprehensive sex education, especially with smaller kids. Because guess what? That no-no spot and that no-no place does not hold up in court. So if somebody does go as far as to manipulate your child and tell them, hey, if you tell your mom and dad that, we did this, I'm going to unalive them, or I got some candy, or I got a puppy, or whatever, and they go, and that does happen to your child, guess what? You take your child to court, or you don't even get to a court. Let me backtrack. You don't even get to the point of court. You get to a police station, and they say, oh, well, he tried to touch my cookie. Guess what the police going to say? They're gonna say, "Oh well, this child is talking about a cookie. We can't arrest him based on the fact that he said that this child said that they tried to touch a no-no spot or a cookie. That's not an anatomically correct body part. There's nothing that we can do. We have to release him because your child isn't old enough or educated enough to explain what actually happened." And this is really ridiculous.
So did nobody hear me say that I cleaned that up for TikTok, or are we just gonna be?
Yeah, we heard it. We heard it, AJ.
You cleaned that up. Okay, right.
Don't worry about it, bro. I wanted to say.
I was just wondering.
Let me read. Let me read these last two these super chats. Teresa said, "Sex ed expands from anatomy and elementary school. We did that one." She said, "His discomfort is exactly why we pay professionals." Yeah. Right. Biku said, I was married with 2 kids and gone to war twice before 26. Conversations with kids about their bodies and SMEC starts at birth. Grow the fuck up. Yeah, man. It's been a long time. Me and my wife been having those conversations with my baby. I actually don't even remember when we started. It's been, and he's 8 now, but it's been for years we've been having those conversations. Years.
My baby was definitely 2.
Yeah, I think like 2 or 3. I think so, yeah. Forever.
I just wanted to add. Go ahead, Alex. I just want to say this one last tidbit to the conversation because I wanted to get back to the front when we were talking about ABs. It's interesting because I have been listening in on AJ saying how people are supposed to have like just all of this information and just know to better prepare themselves so they don't have to go down the road of having to consider getting an AB. But a lot of people don't even know about like the percentage of effectiveness, even when it relates to using birth control in its entirety. So like you have some people who use Plan Bs, but there are like certain specifics that would either count you out or count you in to use that for it to be effective. And we've heard them, you have to be under 200 pounds, blah, 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 blah. But like the more like conveniently used ones, like let's say a condom, according to PlannedParenthood.org, a condom is 87% effective. They can cost between $0 to $2 and you have to use it every single time. So another one that I see that's very cheap on here is like maybe a spermicide or gel. That's 79 to like 86% effective. You have to use it every single time, and that can cost from $0, but it can go all the way up to $270. People sometimes use the pull-out method. That's 78%.
The way some of y'all breath be smelling, I think that shit might be a spermicide.
Please. Some people use
what it is.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I done smelled some breath, and I was like, that shit definitely kill off at least a couple billion of them sperms.
It's because they ain't never been to the dentist pub since that Medicaid van took them in.
Oh my God. What is
that shit 83% effective.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is like, again, we're going back to like things that you have to consider. People probably are using all of these methods and they're not 100% effective. And depending on like, what religious background they have, their values, core beliefs, and financially where they stand, they could be trying to utilize the resources that are available for them, but they just failed. And so they have to take the next step. And it's just hard to hear when people, especially people who ain't got kids, probably ain't never conceived kids, they can come up with all this rationale of why, shoulda, coulda, woulda, when somebody is already pregnant and try to shame them, but they don't even know anything of what I just quoted from Planned Parenthood, let alone anything related to ABs. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna free up about. I'm gonna drop down.
But that's why I stay out of women's business right here. These types of conversations. If this conversation don't teach me and nothing else, stay out of these women's business. Y'all don't know nothing about them. You don't know nothing about them. That's why I be like, I don't be understanding the audacity of me, like on some real shit. AJ, the thing you said about why would you talk about stuff you don't know about, this is like this conversation, these conversations that you're trying to have, this is exactly why I don't talk to women about this shit. I refuse. It's not, I don't know what the fuck. I just, whatever you tell me, good with me. Like, you got it. I trust you. You know, that's your body, blah, 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 blah. I leave it to them. But when it just be so frustrating because so many men be having the audacity to be like, you know, like giving out this quote unquote advice. And I'm like, don't. Like, you just don't know. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't understand all the circumstances. You just don't get it. Clearly you don't get it. Like, and you keep going, spinning back to this like agree to disagree shit. I hate agree to disagree. Unless we talking about motherfucking, do you like muffins versus bagels? Yeah, we can agree to disagree, right? Like, I'm a bagels man, you a muffin man, whatever the fuck case may be. Let's agree to disagree, right? Cool. But when we're talking about reproductive, we're talking about SMECs and we're talking about ABs and whatnot. Fuck no. Ain't no fucking agree to disagree. Hell no. Hell no. Nope. Absolutely not.
It's intellectually lazy, frankly. Because at the end of the day, you have got to have the range when you hop into conversations like this. Because you literally have to think, AJ, you on a panel with a lot of women, and you really up here trying to tell women about women. Like, here's the thing. We don't need y'all advice.
I'm not trying to tell y'all about nothing.
See, you see how you talk when people be talking, and then you talking about y'all cut me out, y'all cut me out.
That's kind of what happens when you disrespect
somebody. Okay, well, that's why you go on mute when other people talking. I notice your mute button has not been on since you've been up here. You be jumping at the beat.
That's a lie. But that's a lie. But okay.
It's not, unless public mute you.
All right.
So, anyways, the long story short is women don't need men's advice about shit. Y'all, the only thing y'all can advise us on is, should we use a trash can liner or should we not? What to clean out the trash can with? How to cut the grass, how to measure the grass, how to change oil. Maybe we need to know that kind of stuff. But otherwise, we don't need y'all to tell us nothing about the female anatomy and the body. And you know what I'm realizing, public? This is coming from a lot of hurt men who thought they was the JUNK. And that girl said, yeah, but I don't want to have your baby. And she went and got rid of it, and their egos grew.
Yeah, that's what happened earlier.
You thought that you were father material. Mm-hmm. You thought you was that nigga. Yep. And she said, you actually not. Because you're not smart. I don't want to have a baby with somebody who isn't smart, AJ. Like, I don't want to have a baby with somebody who doesn't have the range to have conversations. I don't want to have a baby with somebody who makes $50,000 a year. I don't want to take that chance for somebody who doesn't want to educate themselves about basic things.
No one's ever said that to me.
I'm just saying.
You never had a pregnancy scare. That's good. I never had one either before my wife got pregnant. AJ concede that he is uneducated on this topic. That's what Catch Me Outside said. Damn, bro, this shit is crazy. Go ahead. Y'all can go finish. I just wanted to read that, make sure that super chat or that.
But I think, but public, I honestly think that's the issue, because when I heard somebody saying about the emotional ramifications of it, coming from a male perspective, they're grieving the child that could have been. And I'm grieving the Disney trip I could have went on without my kids. Like, what? Yeah. Like, you're grieving a shoulda, coulda, woulda. At the end of the day, listen, when I was pregnant, people used to ask me, how the baby doing? And I'd be like, fuck this baby. You know me. You don't know this baby. Ask me how I'm doing. I don't even know this baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, then y'all ask about this damn baby. So that's how I treat ABs. You don't even know that baby. Okay?
Your body want to attack that baby.
Your body, everything in your body biologically, we want to attack that baby, and don't let it have a different blood type. Her body might actually unalive that baby.
Might do it. Might offer it.
Hypothetically. So let's stop talking about hypothetical baby Keisha and hypothetical baby Trayvon because they not here. They don't exist. And if you ain't got kids, I honestly feel like you should stay out of conversations like this. That's just my advice to you because it just be giving, you don't have empathy, you're insensitive, and you uneducated on top of it. So that annoys people. That's why you get the feedback that you get because you be annoying. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. Go ahead, AJ. You can respond, brother. I know you want to.
Man, all three of those things were incorrect, but
what things?
The energy that it would take to
not having
empathy, not whatever else you just said. It's just it gets exhausting because it's just exhausting. It's just tired. You say I'm annoying. Y'all ain't even annoying. It's just it's draining. It's just exhausting.
You know what? You know what's exhausting about it? You know why you get tired of it? You get tired of fighting it when all you got to do is accept it because it's probably true. The tiredness comes from the fight. It doesn't come from, like, if you accepted it, it would energize you because you would be like, oh shit, I just learned something new about myself. Or, oh shit, I learned a new perspective or da. But you're fighting, it's like a disease. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting the truth like it's a virus, and that makes you tired. Like when you get sick, that's why you're always tired and shit because you're fighting that shit off. That's what you're doing. You're fighting the truth off like it's a virus. You fight logic and reality, and you fight that shit off as if it's a virus. That's how you react to it to save your ego. Your ego is fighting it, by the way, and that's what's exhausting. So if you just like stopped the fight and accepted it, it wouldn't be so exhausting. Because what do you think? You think Kay? I mean, I know we talking spicy, but let's be honest. You think Kay is trying to like manipulate you? You think she's gaslighting you? You think she's just talking shit because she hates you? You really believe that?
Not at all.
Okay, then why do you think that she just said what she said to you?
But if we're gonna have a serious conversation, then let's have an actual serious conversation. But like smart ass remarks and fucking like that's unnecessary. You say I'm fighting the truth. It's the unnecessary shit that's draining. It's not the truth.
So
there was no way that you
unnecessary.
AJ, I don't even know your positions because I don't feel like you're direct. You just kind of just say word salad.
What do you mean? What my positions on what?
Anything.
On anything that we've been discussing. I mean,
I've been very clear on any question. Yeah, any question y'all ask me, I've been very clear.
Give me a second, Kenzie, real quick. So, AJ, if I hopped up here in all my knowledge, because mind you, I've been a nurse now for almost 12 years, and I've worked specifically in women's health. If I got up here as a know-it-all, as somebody who has researched this stuff, taken care of patients, seen the anecdotals, seen the typicals, you would be at a loss because you're not walking in my field, right? You don't see the stuff that I see, right? So whenever we start having these conversations, even if people came at you with hardcore facts, you would be up here agreeing to disagree. You don't even realize that.
Yeah,
but
don't even
that's
matter.
The difference between this conversation and any other conversation that's been had because
every time you get up here, you
haven't.
Hold on,
you just don't have a lot of patience, probably. I'm sorry.
I don't. Public do. That's why this is panel. I don't, and I never pretended to. I got patience for my kids. I told people that a long time ago. The only patience I got is for these kids, and I have patience for a laboring woman because I know that takes a lot of time. Other than that, I ain't got no patience for you niggas because I feel like y'all be willfully ignorant and y'all don't want to receive what's being said. That's why I don't have no patience. But public is that nigga. This is his life's work.
But anytime Public's had a conversation with me and he's brought out statistics or facts or anything, I've conceded because who's going to argue with statistics and facts?
Statistics are facts.
But the conversation that we've had today, there wasn't. I didn't say that they were.
Facts you just said statistics. If anytime he brings out statistics and facts, that you concede.
Two separate
things.
The
same thing. Okay, well, again, let's get to the facts.
True, AJ. I've never heard you concede.
At all, because when we talk, Kay mentioned, and honestly, I think that Kay is the perfect person to ask that question because of the fact that she's a nurse. But even if we were to bring in facts, the things that we stated earlier, the things that Kenzie stated, the things that I stated, the things that Shan stated, they were facts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Those things can be substantiated.
Like about the vaginal canal and the age that you
see, hold on, that's that bullshit, AJ.
I am asking.
Okay, all right. He asking a genuine question. Fuck it, give it to him. Okay.
Let's play the game though. Because
I'm not playing.
Earlier, this is a direct quote. This is a direct quote. This is a direct quote. If you were listening, if you were paying attention, then you would know that these are not just stats that we're pulling from the back of our head. These are facts. These are actual substantiated claims that you just chose not to listen to and not to hear out.
All I asked was which ones specifically?
Which ones you want to pick? Because when we were talking about ABs, about ABs earlier, I know I can speak for myself when I say, and honestly, some of the stuff that the other lady said, because I've read a lot on this. The information that we presented can be substantiated.
All I asked was for what specifically. That's all. That's why I asked
I said
for vaginal canal.
I said ABs.
But I've never disagreed about any AB take. All I was speaking to was
what
conversation when what AB take that I disagree on?
You disagree that? Hold on. Wait.
Men are responsible. We went down and we got stuck on, well, people who are in poverty don't have the resources and the knowledge we've been stuck on that for the last hour and a half.
Exactly. So you disagree with the AB take, quote unquote. That's the whole fucking take.
But you're saying, so your entire thing is men are responsible for getting abortions, and we broke it down all the way to, and we got stuck on poverty and whatnot. And all I was saying was, well, if these individuals don't have the knowledge and the resources, then they shouldn't have SMECs until they get that knowledge and resource. That's all I've been saying for the last hour and a half.
But you don't have the knowledge. I don't know if you have the resources, AJ. You have the resources, but you don't have the knowledge. So should you yourself not be having SMECs?
About the worries of pregnancy and or STDs?
Nah, that's not.
About this whole concept.
That's
the whole thing that we talked about for an hour and a half.
It's so crazy how this is you really just don't understand. And there's no shade, no tea. You literally just don't understand. Like that's what I have come to that conclusion. I've been thinking that you just been like, and as part of it is you are actively fighting against it, but you really just don't know. Like you think like all the stuff that like Allie was just talking about and the stuff that Kay was scrolling back was talking about, like all that shit, right? It's an all-encompassing the shit BPG brought up about the kids and all. It's all a part of it. So if you don't know how to have why would you have a child if you don't know how to fucking have a conversation with the child? You could keep playing that. That's what I was saying about your logic earlier was like, if you don't know, quote unquote, just in general, that's it. If you don't know, why have a kid?
But I also don't have a kid. But I can also
why have SMECs? Because that's what it was about, AJ. Why have SMECs?
Why have SMECs if you are not in a financial position? Why have unprotected SMECs? Why have SMECs without all of this leads to pregnancy. So why have any type of SMECs that can lead to pregnancy?
If you don't know shit about kids. It doesn't
matter if you use protection.
It doesn't matter.
That's eugenics, by the way.
It is eugenics. It is eugenics. 100%.
And not for nothing, there's women with IUDs who get pregnant and have to abort that baby because it won't survive because the IUD is there. So that's what I'm saying.
100%.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So what we're telling you is that even though there are methods of birth control, that little poster in the OBGYN office, I I want you to visit one day. But that little poster up there tells you the effectiveness of each form of birth control, and ain't none of them 100%. Can you believe that? Ain't nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you keep saying, why have SMECs unprotected? It doesn't matter how much you protect yourself. Why have SMECs, period? That's his point.
But there are
as long as you're having SMECs, there's a potential that you can come up pregnant or get somebody pregnant. So by your logic, you should never be having SMECs because you don't know everything there is to know about SMECs, reproduction, and raising children.
No.
No.
What you shouldn't be doing.
Oh my God. AJ, I'm sorry, bro.
What you shouldn't be doing. I swear to God, if I could get through a 15 seconds.
We let you get all the way through it, sir. Please stop. Go ahead.
You talking a lot, AJ.
What you shouldn't do is go in raw dog, nothing Nathaniel when you broke as hell and your priorities are fucked up.
You got it,
That's
AJ.
what you shouldn't be.
Chad,
and
don't
on top
even.
Of that, and on top of that, you ain't even vetted the nigga you fucking.
Here we go with the vetting shit.
On top of that, on top of the fact that y'all raw dogging, no condom, y'all ain't even bought the plan B. You ain't got no contraceptive. But hey, I'm horny and I want to fuck. Because it's irritating the fact that y'all are acting like it makes sense.
It don't make sense,
what's
AJ.
irritating that Kenzie and I both said multiple times that, and Public mentioned it too, that those aren't the people having ABs. That you still are so adamant that the majority of people who are having ABs are people who are apparently having smacks in club and nightclub bathrooms, like they in the doggone.
That is your AJ. That's what you're fucking saying.
What the fuck I said. Point to me when I said that people be fucking in clubs.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to get your blood pressure up because of the fact that you don't understand hypothetical situation.
It's not dumb though.
Hypothetical. Don't say no hypothetical.
Your entire
okay, because that wasn't verbatim. And I think that that's the part that you're getting stumped on. This is where, when we talk about comprehensive sex education, we have to talk about comprehension, period. Because I wasn't saying that you said nightclubs in general. You were saying that people who are the people who are getting these ABs are a result of people who are having unprotected smacks with people that they don't vet. That's crazy. Not what's happening. A large number of those ABs are medical. They're a result of GRAPE. They're a result of DV, and they are married women who are of age. So you're adding in a number of people who represent maybe 1%, maybe, because those aren't the people who are getting them. And this is the part that you're frustrating yourself because you don't have the knowledge. And I think, honestly, I feel bad for y'all because y'all don't have to take college courses or have to do a whole lot of, work or sit through lectures. And that's the reason why these conversations frustrate you, because it's a compilation of a whole lot of information at once that you don't understand. So it's very overwhelming when you take somebody that has a kindergarten level understanding of sex and then you put them in a college grad level course about sex. It's very, very frustrating because you're still trying to learn colors and other people are working on full dissertations. That's what the real issue is.
And AJ, you know something else? This is gonna blow your mind. There's married women who 3 kids in and find out they pregnant and decide they don't want another child with that man.
Need to focus on the other women.
And they gonna send it back to God. And they gonna send it back to God. Okay.
So on here, because on here it says according to, and this is just surveys. But according to surveys, women have abortions for many reasons, including financial reasons. The most common reason cited by 40% of respondents in one survey said that financial reasons. Timing, over 1/3 of the respondents cited timing as a reason. Partner-related reasons, nearly 1/3. Need to focus on other children, 29%. Not emotionally or mentally prepared, 19%. Health-related reasons, which you all have spoke to, and other reasons, including one.
You think we don't know this, AJ? This is funny that you're. I'm happy you're reading it finally.
No. I'm not. That's the point. I'm not saying that none of y'all know this. I'm sure that y'all know it, but y'all are making it seem like I'm the one who's telling y'all false information when this is right
you just
here.
Googled that information.
But we knew it because we been knew it. Hold on, but AJ, I think what you're missing is.
But there's no false claims in what I've been saying that correlates with these surveys.
It's not a false claim. Go ahead.
So these surveys align? So these surveys
align? Yeah, because you're assuming, did you read it further to find out what financial reasons could mean? Because you have been claiming, do not, rhetorical question, please be quiet. You have been claiming that financial means people are just sleeping around with people that they know don't have any money, blah, blah, blah. Somebody having an AB for financial reasons could be they are very much so financially stable, them and their partner, and they already have a child, and they don't want to have another child because that could risk their financial stability.
That's my reason.
So financial reasons doesn't mean it's a bunch of broke people sleeping around, and they get pregnant, and they say, oh, I can't afford it.
I'm just going, that is what you said. That is what you said.
No, I said that due to him. I said that due to public saying that they don't have the resources. Why?
What is that? Hold on. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Why else would you not have the resources? What resources are you speaking of?
Money.
Exactly.
So that's what the fuck.
I spoke to you saying resources and knowledge when we were talking about impoverished individuals. That's what we have been speaking on.
You just used that survey that you read, or that whatever you just read that you looked up. You just used that they said financial reasons, regardless of who brought it up. They said financial reasons, and you took that to me. Oh, so what I was arguing was right because they just said most of it is financial reasons. And then when I explained to you that financial reasons doesn't have to mean anybody is broke, you just pivoted to say, oh no, I didn't say that. Public said it. You see how you never actually say, oh, you're right. I didn't think about it that way. Never, not one time.
Because if I would have said that, then I would agree. Hey, that's what I said.
All right,
but that's not the argument that I've been making. And yes,
hey man,
financial.
Hey, y'all not gonna do it. You not gonna crack them. These niggas is these niggas got y'all should go look up Bonk. Y'all should go look up Bonk's Adventures. These niggas are Bonk from Bonk's Adventures. Them niggas got they scold fucking rams. Them niggas is like rams. Like you can't penetrate that shit. Magneto.
I decided 2 hours ago Harriet Tubman should have left his people.
Like this shit is crazy, bro. You not like the fact. Never mind. I want to go to Thrasher. I gotta let Thrasher go. At least let the Thrasher, please go ahead.
Yeah. What do you mean by like they're responsible?
Hey, y'all, hold on. We started from the beginning. Reset. Okay, this is gonna help AJ out. What do I mean that men are responsible for causing women to have abortions or leading the women to have abortions? They the women basically assess if the man is a viable option to have a child with, and if that man is not a viable option, if he's not capable of providing or emotionally showing up for that woman and that child or whatever the case may be, more than likely that woman is going if and when she decides to get the AB, it's going to be because of that. Like that's going to be the biggest reason.
Nah, but like I'm saying, like why does he have to be responsible for it? Like I don't know what you mean by responsible. Like are you saying he's responsible for paying for it, or are you saying?
Oh no, I thought I just explained it. What did you not understand about what I was saying?
No, it sounds like you're telling me that if the father is unfit, then the woman's going to get an abortion.
There you go.
But how does that make the man responsible for it?
Because he can control the type of. Go ahead, Kenzie. You can respond.
I was just gonna say he's the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm responsible for breaking your leg, I caused your leg to break.
Mm.
Wait. So you said he's the cause of it?
In so many ways, the man is a cause. There's so many ways that you could say it's the man. Like they ejaculate in the woman. Yeah.
So like, why can't both be the cause? Doesn't it like take two to tango?
Sure. What percentage of blame would you like to attribute to the woman? You want to say it's 50-50?
Yeah, it was like 50-50.
Okay. Now, for that to be so, I want you to understand that it so basically it's a coin toss, right? All right. What I'm trying to figure out is like I said, if the woman is to blame, meaning under your following your logic, you're assuming that the woman has all of this information prior to her being pregnant. Am I correct?
Information about him being a bad father?
Not a bad father, but he's just not, economically viable. Also, contraceptions fail, right? So it may not even be like the pregnancy, like he actually caused it because he was wearing a condom and the condom failed, or she was, she had IUD or whatever and it failed, or whatever the case may be, right? Like things happen, whatever it is, right? And now the baby is here, and then now she has to assess the situation, she's pregnant. I won't say the baby's here. Now she's pregnant, and now she has to assess if she wants to carry out this pregnancy to full term. It's like you're saying at that point, half of that responsibility is on her.
In terms of what caused it, yeah.
No, what would cause her to have the AB, not how she got preggers. What would cause her to have the AB? You're saying that is 50-50?
No, I'm talking about the responsibility part is 50-50.
Hold on. Read this again and tell me if I'm missing something. I'm talking about ABs, right? So I'm saying that men are responsible for the ABs. The ABs. You're talking about pregnancy, right? You're saying, so cool. I'll concede to you it's 50-50. Fuck it. Kinsey disagrees, but I just for the sake of this argument, I'll give you it's 50-50. It's the woman is just as responsible for the pregnancy happening. You're good. We're good now, right? Now, can we talk about the AB?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's the part I want to focus on.
Yeah, I think it's 100% on the mother. 100%.
What do you mean it's 100% on the mother?
It's not, the man's not responsible for getting the AB.
Why not?
Because the man didn't make her get the AB. She get the AB because of her own personal reasoning, right?
What if she got it because he was broke?
Wait, hold on. She wasn't forced to get the AB, right?
No.
But what if she got it because he wasn't?
Wait. I got a question. So are we playing a semantics game? This is
not a semantics game. I don't know what you mean by that. But.
Because I'm not saying that a man forced a woman to get an AB. I'm saying the man is the core reason why the woman would get an AB or would not get an AB.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying.
Responsible then.
Huh?
I said that's a lot different from being responsible then.
How is that different? If he can control can he not control who he is? Is he not responsible for himself?
Oh, he definitely is.
Okay. Therefore, it would be his fault. It would be his responsibility because he is in control of himself. So if he's broke, can he not go get a better job? Can he not go get an education? If he's emotionally dysregulated, can he not go get therapy? Can he not go get meds? Can he not, is he not responsible for himself?
Yeah, he's definitely responsible for himself.
Okay.
He's not responsible for decision making.
Wait, can I ask a really quick question?
Go ahead, Shan.
Do you believe, Arthur, that if a man tells a woman he doesn't want the baby and he's not going to be there, that if she doesn't get an AB, that's on her? She shouldn't force him to be in the child's life?
Not necessarily.
Okay, well, a lot of men say that. A lot of men say, and women too, people will say, if a man told you he didn't want the baby and you had that baby anyway, that's on you. But at the same time, a lot of people will turn around and hear this conversation and say, he didn't force you to get an AB. He's not responsible. It's not his fault that you got an AB. But again, those same people, if you don't get an AB, when that man told you, I don't want this baby, I'm not going to be there, they will say, you're a single mom, that's your fault. That's on you because that man told you he wasn't going to be there. Which one is it? Because we can't have them both.
No, I won't say that it's her fault for being a single mom.
And I think men like you.
Hold on, let him finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, obviously, if he decides to step out on taking care of the child that he knows is gonna be into the world, then it's definitely his fault for making her a single mom. Or, at least be a co-parent. I'm just saying, if she's alone on it, then it's his fault.
What if he abuses her while she's pregnant and she wants to abort the baby? Is that his fault?
If she wants to abort the baby?
Yeah.
Nah.
That's not his fault. If she's now pregnant and then he starts to abuse her.
It's not his fault.
Wait. I'm really confused. If we go back, I'm sorry, Shenanigans, was that your analogy?
Oh.
Which one?
The one about if he says get an abortion or I'll leave, and then she has.
Oh, yeah.
So when Shenanigans gave her analogy, and you said if she chooses to become a mother, is that his fault? You said yes. What if she chooses to have an abortion? Is that his fault?
You said if she chooses to become a mother, it's her fault. Why
No,
you
you said it's his fault. So you give that he's responsible.
No, I didn't say that.
For her being a single mother. Yeah, you did.
No,
I said being a single mom and he doesn't take care of his responsibilities, that's his fault. That's what you said.
Yeah, I said like if he makes her a single mom, that's definitely something that he made happen if she was willing to co-parent or whatever.
Right. So if he has culpability in that decision, why does he not have culpability in her deciding to have an abortion?
Wait, what do you mean by culpability?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hey man, come on, y'all. Y'all know we in America. Y'all know the educational system.
You don't say America. He doesn't have responsibility. That he doesn't have responsibility in influencing her decision.
You can say like he influenced it emotionally, but like at the end of the day, she's an adult who has agency, and she made the decision to get an abortion. That's not his fault. She's not responsible for it.
So I'm wondering how you determine like if someone is culpable or responsible for a certain outcome, because it just seems to kind of be arbitrary. Where in one situation you say yes, but if she makes a different choice, given the same circumstance, you say no. Like, how do you determine?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why the two situations are not the same.
No, I just want to know how you determine responsibility.
So he's culpable for making her a single mom because he had the power to actually be there in her life, but he chose not to be there. Therefore, it's his fault for why she's a single mom.
Power when
in the case of abortion, in the case of abortion, it's only up to her to make that decision, right?
Well, no, because if he would have been there, if he would have said, "I'll help you raise the baby," she wouldn't have had the abortion.
I don't really care about that. That's like her own personal reasoning. Like women.
Well, then it's her own personal reasoning to be a single mother as well.
Women become single moms all the time rather than getting an abortion. So I don't know why that would be relevant.
Kenzie, I got a question for Thrasher.
Circumstance. All circumstances are the same. She just makes two different choices, and in one choice you're saying he's responsible, yet in another choice you're saying he's not.
I just told you why the two situations are not done the same, right? So if she's saying like, "Hey, I want you in my life to co-parent this child," but he doesn't do it, then she's a single mom, and okay, she can't do anything about that, right? She can't do anything about that.
Sure, she could have an abortion and not be a single mom, right?
Or she could gestate the child and be a single mom.
Hey, can y'all say
right? Or she could gestate the child and give it up for adoption, right? She has lots of options. So I'm wondering
why the two situations are not the same, right?
So, but how do you determine if he's responsible?
Responsible in what? So he's not responsible.
In terms of his culpability of the outcome.
Of her being a single mom?
Any outcome of her being a single mom, of her giving the baby up for adoption, of her having an abortion. All these stem because he does not want to parent or care for the child.
Yeah, he's culpable for not being there for his child. If he's able to be there for his child and he chooses not to be, then he's responsible in that regard. Yeah.
Then all of
he's
those
not responsible for getting an abortion.
Well, yes, because that choice stemmed from him not wanting to be there.
No, that's her own personal reasoning and emotional.
No, he would have had the baby if he wanted to.
No. Again, that's her own personal.
He wanted to abandon his partner because he didn't want to deal with the responsibilities. So of course she's like, I don't want to be a single mom. I can't afford to go out to these appointments by myself. I don't even have the time.
It's funny you said it because a lot of moms actually do that. They do say, okay, I guess I'm going to have to take care of this child on my own, even though I don't have enough money to. They still have the child.
Right, and a lot of moms don't.
That wait? And Thrasher, do you think that is responsible?
What part?
Let's say, based on your logic, do you think that's responsible of that individual to say, I'm still going to have this baby even though I don't have any money and I can't take care. You think that's responsible? Okay.
Yes.
In what way is that responsible?
I think it's a lot better than like unaliving the child, you know.
Well,
yeah.
In what way is that responsible?
By not killing it.
How does that make them responsible? That's what I'm trying to find out. How does that make them responsible?
Because you're not doing the worst outcome. You're doing what's better.
Wait. How is that the worst? Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me ask you a question. And this is I was born in poverty, so I'm not judging anybody that's done this. I'm just trying to figure out the logic here. What is a worse outcome in this scenario? A fetus being deleted, or that fetus being, going into a baby and coming out, going to full term, being a baby and being raised in poverty and never being able to get past living in poverty?
The fetus getting deleted, obviously.
Okay. So let me ask you the question again.
Like, hold on. Do you think like every like poor child wishes they were dead or something? Like, why do y'all?
That's not, sir. I just told you I grew up in poverty. I just told you that.
Yourself? You didn't want to unalive yourself, so
wait. Who told you? Hold on. Wait. Who told you that? Who told you I didn't want to unalive myself?
I'm sorry. Never mind. Maybe you did.
Who told you I never wanted to unalive myself?
You know what? If I'm wrong about that, then
you are 100% wrong about that. Several times in my life, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Can I blame my mama for bringing me into this ghetto world to have to pay bills? You think she could have deleted me?
You wouldn't know no different. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all, like I'm just saying, like, it's just so odd the way that you guys have this conversation and you talking about unaliving. It's not a baby. It's a fetus. Who, like, if that woman want to delete that fetus, that's on her. I ain't got. If she want to keep it, that's on her. If she want to delete it, that's on her. Like either way, I'm down for it either way. That's her body. I ain't telling her to do it either way. But I'm just saying, it don't, like, what you're saying doesn't make. I don't get it. It logically is not tracking. I'm not understanding how that tracks.
Okay, but we could both agree that you're glad that you didn't end up unaliving yourself, right?
I guess so.
All right, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm saying being alive and broke is better than being unalived.
It's not.
Who told you that? Who told you there's some fates worse than unaliving, bro? Like, there's some, like, what? Who told you that?
I'm saying, in most cases, like, of course, you can do assisted unaliving where, maybe your mental issues are too bad.
This is a dishonest conversation.
This is crazy.
There's a difference.
This is so crazy.
Real quick. Let me just get this point out. There's a difference between unaliving and never existing in the first place.
Two different things.
You know that. So this is a very dishonest conversation because you're saying, like, yeah, if you walk up to a fucking 35-year-old and say, do you want to unalive right now? They're probably going to tell you no, depending on who you walk up to. But if you go to a fetus, that's an egg, that's a little embryo, and you can't even ask them. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. You can't even ask them. They have no conscious thought.
That's why you shouldn't unalive.
Two different things.
Wait, why is that? What do you mean? Why would that be the what? Bell Lawrence, come up. Today could be your day.
It's not even unaliving. It's not even unaliving. You're talking about if you ask me, would you had rather never existed? If I didn't exist, I wouldn't know I didn't exist. So sure.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't even know.
So like that's crazy. Like
that's crazy.
I want to unalive right now. Do I want to unalive? No, I love my life. I love living it.
But
if you ask me, would you be upset if your mom had an AD with you? No, how could I be upset? I wouldn't exist.
You would be deprived. If she did that, you would be deprived of what you have now. You would be deprived of life.
I wouldn't exist. I can't be deprived of anything. I don't exist.
That's still deprivation. That's still deprivation, though.
What? How are you being deprived?
Wait.
This is so crazy.
Like ejaculating her mom.
What is happening, bro?
You're like, aren't you glad your daddy ejaculated in your mom?
Actually, no.
I feel bad for that woman.
But y'all, hold on, Kenzie. I want to ask my question.
I can't believe she let my daddy skeet in her. I ain't gonna even hold y'all.
and frankly,
if my mama could have avoided all the drama that came with letting that man skeet in her, I definitely would take that hit. Yeah, go on and unravel this shit.
I really would. insane.
Go on and unravel all of this. I'm cool.
Dude, I would free mine too.
Easily.
And not for nothing, Thrasher. Your daddy could have kept that week A sperm. I mean, frankly, if we being for real. But my question was, have you ever been in this situation where my son trying to talk? Have you ever been in a situation where you have been in a near miss type of situation? Or have you paid for a situation? Like, is this something personal to you? Why do you take it so personally about people doing what they want with their bodies? I just want to know why it's so personal.
I just think it's wrong to unalive children.
Me too. Who up here disagrees? Hold on. Who up here disagrees that is wrong to unalive children? Does anybody up here disagree with that?
No. I want to know how he defines child.
Oh, that's the point. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, that's not the conversation we're having. We're not talking about
I could explain it, but that's why I put this picture up, because I actually think that this is what they think pregnancy looks like.
No, I
literally.
I had a woman tell me that the abortion pill like dissolved my baby.
Hey, why her arm so long?
What do you mean? That's anatomically accurate. That is to scale.
That's so weird.
Hey, dude.
And you look like that at 2 weeks pregnant.
Hey, if you can sit on one of them balls and your arms can touch the ground like that, your arms is long as
Baby's
fuck.
is in that is ridiculous.
I also think there's a lot of people. I've also had a lot of people tell me, like, essentially it's just a small human and it just gets bigger as time goes on. Like, nothing develops. It's always just like miniature.
When them things be in there warming up, they be looking like seahorses. That's what they
exactly.
Like, did you see
I got a picture of it. I'm gonna show you Gigi as a little chicken nugget.
Same thing. I was like a fucking seahorse.
Them little babies looking seahorses swimming around.
I've never met a parent that know how to read an ultrasound. Like, when you look at them ultrasounds, them babies be looking so weird. You don't know which way is up. You don't know which part is which. And the doctor would be like, look at his little hand.
They be circling shit on the screen. I'll be like, I don't see what the fuck you looking at. They be like, you see, they feed me like this. They be like, okay, if you look right past the feet, you see that little dot right there? It's a boy. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm glad you.
Yeah, thank you. Yay.
Girl, give me the picture and let me go. Damn.
I don't be knowing what the hell them babies be looking like in there, man. But I do. Hey, but at a certain point, when it was like a real baby in there and it was cooking, that nigga looked just like me in there. That's when I knew. That's when I was like, y'all be some motherfucking liars.
How long did that take, though?
I don't know the
7
weeks.
months?
It was a long time.
7 months?
It was a long time.
It was well in.
Oh no, he was a baby. He was definitely. It was already a baby at that point. And I seen the side. That they did the little side shit of the cranium, and me and that nigga had the same angle hook in the back of our head. I said, look at that little hook head nigga. That's me. Look at that nigga, man. He had the same Jackson. It was Jack. That nigga had all of this was the same. You could have took a picture of me like this in some water and took my picture and then put it next to that thing. It would have been the same picture.
Show them.
No, that ultrasound had me fucked up because I thought my baby was gonna be ugly the way his face was smushed up.
So you see where that green line is?
Mm-hmm. That looked like an asteroid hitting Earth.
That was my baby at 8 weeks. That she was a little chicken nugget, and it was literally a heartbeat. All you could see was the heart beating. But she's a chicken nugget. I said, "That's the baby." She said, "Yeah." I said, "It's nothing." She said, "Yeah."
Hold on, what am I looking at? Are you talking about that little thing, that little like growth?
That's kind of attached to the side of my uterus, right there.
That's not even a thing, dude. Like, get
That's
this.
a chicken nugget.
And also, that's blown up. If you look at the actual size of that, like when people have like miscarriages, which is very, very sad. But if you look at the actual size of that, like it's literally a clump. Oftentimes, when it's that early on, that's why when you have a miscarriage, it's just a lot of blood.
Yep.
Because it's just a clump of cells at that point.
I think they really need to teach y'all what the shit be really looking like, so y'all can stop saying unaliving babies, because that don't look like a baby to me. Did that look like a baby to you, Thrasher?
That's a baby in utero.
It's just an emotional appeal because they don't have any other argumentation.
Right, because they don't give a damn. They talking about a baby in utero. Go get your 5-year-old. that you ain't seen in 3 weeks.
I don't have a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
What does an embryo
about a baby in utero?
What does an embryo and a born baby have in common?
They're both guiltless human beings.
Well, an adult has that in common too. Like, why are you not calling it an adult? Why are you calling it a baby?
Yeah, so you agree with me. They're all human beings, and they're all innocent, and they're all persons.
Well, when we're talking about human being, I can agree. Yes, sure, they're a part of the species Homo sapien. I don't think that they possess what we would call personhood. And this whole that they're innocent, I think is just religious rhetoric.
They don't have any past or present, right? They don't exist. They don't exist now. They have nothing.
You just saw it in her womb.
They don't have anything in the past, and they don't have anything presently. All they have is a future. If they make it, they have a future, right? But that's a big if, but I'm not a big if, but that's an if, right? But right now, they have nothing. They have no memories. They don't like nothing. They have nothing going on. They don't know nothing. Nothing happening for them. And they don't have anything behind that. Do you remember anything from when you were born? Or in the womb? No, exactly. You weren't fucking a sentient being. You were a clump of bro.
I mean, you were sentient at first.
Bro, you just made.
No, I'm sorry.
If I'm a newborn, it's the same whole truth. Like, I don't remember anything. I don't have any memories if I'm a newborn.
Wait. Would you say that a zygote has the same moral consideration as an embryo?
A zygote, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Hold on, wait. I'm sorry.
Would it be immoral of me to take Plan B?
It depends on if it unalives a zygote.
Essentially makes it unalive a zygote. Dobby essentially makes it so that my uterus it's not thick enough for implantation. So I'm just preventing implantation.
But Thrasher, if you're already pregnant or if you're ovulating, Plan B don't work. So how are you unaliving a zygote?
Okay, if it doesn't work, man. Wait, hold on. You just said so the Plan B isn't gonna work, then it doesn't work. So what's the problem?
Right. So here's the thing. Plan B is just to disrupt the process of the sperm joining the freaking egg. It just disrupts that process.
Oh, if that's the case, then that's not unaliving it.
Well, no, it can also prevent implantation.
Okay,
right,
so
that's what I'm saying. It disrupts the process.
All right, so look, if it's conceived already, and you tell me that it is just preventing the implantation, then yeah, I'm gonna still consider that like wrong.
You would be against Plan B and IUDs?
What was that?
You would be against Plan B and IUDs?
Yeah, if it results in unaliving a freaking child, then yeah.
Do you think that like every woman's menstrual cycle should be like investigated to see if there's a fertilized egg? Because 35 to 70% of fertilized eggs never implant outside of birth control.
Why would I think they should be investigated?
Well, you think this is a person, right? And somehow I assume that their rights were violated?
Why would their rights be violated?
Because they didn't get
they didn't implant.
Jesus Christ.
No, I mean,
Olivia B the stabler.
Well, I mean, that would be manslaughter, right? Accidental death?
No. I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe. I guess you could say that.
Maybe?
Like, if she just doesn't know, like, I don't think it can be, like, it has to be like, oh, you're just doing something without knowing. But if it just happens to, like, unalive without her knowing, then I don't know. Like,
you know what's sad? You know what's really sad?
Everything.
It would be funny, except women have actually been in prison for that. Like, women have been put in prison and arrested because they have been accused of murdering their unborn fetus because they had a miscarriage, because they didn't know they were pregnant. One lady, she had a miscarriage because she was pew-pewed, and they charged her with, I want to say it was child endangerment and something else, but she was arrested because of the fact that she had a miscarriage as a result of being pew-pewed. Like, it's funny in theory, but it's actually really sad that the idiocy that we see online actually results in women who have to deal with real life consequences of things that naturally happen in their body. Because that 1 in 4 number we talked about earlier about women having ABs and women being assaulted, that also qualifies for women who will have miscarriages in their lifetime. Like, most women have had
at least one, and we'll probably have multiple miscarriages, like 1 in 4.
I have a so Thrasher, is it? Are you against men masturbating?
No.
Why not?
Why would I be?
Because you're wasting your sperm. You're spilling your sperm.
So what?
But sperms can become babies, right?
Can become what?
They can become babies.
They can, but they aren't. They aren't babies yet. They aren't babies. The thing is, like,
wait. So they're not babies yet, right?
No, they're not.
Okay. And what is when is a baby a baby?
When the sperm cell and the egg fuses.
That's when it's a baby. But
yeah.
Okay. But sperm, right, which can become a baby, right? You're saying that sperm can become a baby, but it's not a baby.
Yeah, it has the potential, like, sperm cells might have
the potential. The same, and an egg and a sperm cell coming together can also have the potential of it becoming a baby, but they don't always, but often they don't become babies. Which BCG just spoke of. Often they don't.
And that weak ass sperm you just left lost was a baby too.
Hold on. What'd you say?
To me, they already are babies if they're conceived.
I know, but that's what I'm really trying to track this. They're not though. They haven't become a baby yet, just like your sperm hasn't become a baby yet.
I just told you they are babies. To me, they are babies.
They're not. Well, but that's the weird thing though. Then what's a baby?
When there's a human life. When they say, they define human life as when the egg and the sperm fuses.
Who is they?
Biologists.
Since when?
Since forever, bro.
I didn't have it. What the fuck?
Like for real, like hold on, kids, hold on. Like
when did that happen?
I know you got to be lying, Thrasher.
You think I'm lying?
You got to be lying.
You think I'm lying?
Okay, so here's the thing. It's wrong to spill your seed. If you want to be on this religious thing, the Bible say don't be ejaculating on your own. Anytime you have an interaction with a sperm and a woman, you need to be doing that for procreation. So you going in that sock or going on somebody behind or going on the wherever is against the law of
going
God.
On that behind though. Wait, hold on, Kay.
Listen, wherever she catch it, if it ain't in the vagina, it's against God's law.
Thank you.
So you sinning, and God is gonna punish you, and you going to hell.
I can't wait to go.
What the heck? Wait.
You going to hell for masturbating? You didn't think that was that's against the law of God to be masturbating? Anyway.
It's definitely not as bad as unlicensed.
It is. Listen, it's a sin. It's a sin. Is you a homosexual?
No.
Okay.
It's just as bad. God actually told me.
Anyways,
He just told me just now.
So why you say I'm lying about like you can look it up. Like it's a scientific consensus on when a human life begins. That's what the study is called.
So that consensus just measures when like a chemical process is occurring. It doesn't answer the question of personhood. So sure, I can agree with you.
So I just wait. Hold on. Did I make the claim? I didn't even say that. That's when a person begins. I didn't say like it's science. Science doesn't tell you when a person is like.
Okay. And what is it? Wait. Hold on, y'all. Wait. And what is a baby?
A baby is a person.
Exact, nigga.
Bro, you didn't wait.
Hold on, man. Y'all,
That's
hey.
like the philosophical question is when is someone of moral consideration?
Exactly. It doesn't. We don't. We talking about science.
Biology doesn't answer that, so I don't know why you're making that argument.
That's what we just said.
Wait, can you what you say?
Biology doesn't answer that question, so that argument's irrelevant.
No, I told him when the human life begins, and he said, "Yeah."
Right, but you think that's a baby, and you think the baby is a person. Okay.
Oh man, I got flagged. Ali said all men who choke their chickens need to go to jail. Then, according to Thrasher. Reese Schuyler said, AJ and men like him only think this way because he hasn't had a pregnancy scare yet. If he ever had one, he would support AB guaranteed. Drop him. Juniper said 16,000 to 18,000 a year for a child born in 2023. Damn, is that cheap? My babies is fucking. Them niggas cost way more than that. A year? Insurance and everything. Them little niggas running about 20 racks a piece easily. Cause yeah, I would say man, them niggas is expensive. Also said, pub for the America comment, $2 on my head. Teresa said, men are responsible for all unattended pregnancies. AJ is reading a study from 2005. The site has up-to-date sources. He doesn't understand stats. You know, Teresa was gonna check that shit. Reese Skyler said, why should any woman go through with the preg when you get shamed for being a single mother anyway? I'll take the shame of an A-B and be free. 5 on him. My Shining Star said, no fetus wants to be born in misery or unwanted. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe I'll miss something. To Nigel said, the way I wish my parents would have spared me from having to coexist with these wild pack of dust mites. A wild pack of dust mites. Hold on. Tan Thread said, if fetuses are people, why don't we get baby certs instead of birth certificates? Why is there no death cert when you miscarry / abort? Damn. All great questions. Homegoing services, DPMO. Don't play. I don't know what that means. Minnie, I was gonna read it.
Don't piss me off.
Don't piss me off. Okay, see, I don't be knowing them, man. Y'all know I was born and raised in America. Mimi said, most mammals look the same. Most mammals look the same as embryos. These dudes couldn't tell a dolphin from a human. I told you I thought we was having seahorses when the babies was little. Shorty Rara said, men cry over sales, but not for actual kids in foster care. It honestly disgusts me. Some of y'all don't even want your kids. That's a goddamn fact. That's what we've been trying to say. Hey, on some real shit. I can't. I know. I was gonna continue the live. I cannot continue the live. I got flagged. I put my hands up. I'm gonna end the live. I just wanted to read those before we ended it. Hopefully they don't do me dirty. But yeah, we got flagged. We got restricted. I appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to the YouTubes, everybody in the super chats. I want to make sure we got through that. Teresa, Osa, Nia, Monica, Brooke, Reach, Keisha, to Nigel, Anthony, Marine, Lady Muse, Ozzy, Uratus, Be Cool, My Shining Star, Mimi, and Shorty Rara. I appreciate y'all.